Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. Celtic against Rangers. Your commentary team are Billy Dodds, Pat Bonner and Liam McLeod.
Thank you. Bitterly cold, late autumnal afternoon here in Glasgow. The grey clouds beginning to filter away. There is a hint of blue sky above as these two fight for the right to take on St Mirren in next month's League Cup final back here at the National Stadium. And this just 11 months on from their last meeting here, which came in the final. Celtic edged it on penalties after a thrilling 3-3 draw, albeit much of the thrills and spills were reserved for the second half of normal time. On that occasion, Martin O'Neill, perhaps himself, can scarcely believe what he's standing down there and looking out at. He's 5 or 6 days on from his shock return to the club as he pits his wits against Danny Rule, who is a fairly hectic start to life as Rangers manager. The starting 11s this afternoon for Celtic, who are listed as the home team today. Maida comes in for Forrest from the side that beat Falkirk 4-0 on Wednesday evening. So Schmeichel in goal, Ralston, Trusty, Scales and Sirachi, Engels, McGregor, Nygren, Maida, Tinekti and Kenny, who got 2 against the Bairns. For Rangers, 3 changes. Tavernier, Diamonde and Asgard come in. Diamonde was a goal scorer in last season's final. Butland in goal, Giga, Suter, Cornelius, Tavernier, Diamonde, Raskan and Megoma, Danilo, Asgard and Chermiti. Nick Walsh in charge. This is his 7th Celtic Rangers fixture. And he is about ready to go, as the players are. The Celtic squad in their huddle to the right. The Rangers players doing a last little warm-up there. Callum McGregor breaks out from that get-together with his teammates. Celtic in the green and white hoops with the white shorts and white socks will go right to left towards the west end of the stadium, populated by Rangers supporters towards Mount Florida. Rangers in their blue shirts, white shorts, black socks will go left to right towards the Tory Glen east end of the stadium. The scene very much set here. And it is Celtic who kick off amidst the din here at Hampden Park. It's played to Sirachi, who then goes back to Scales, who finds Trusty, and over to that right-hand side for Anthony Ralston, who's shanked it straight out of play for a Rangers throw-in over on the far side. The sunshine beginning to creep out from the skies above, shining onto the north stand over on the far side. It is a Rangers throw-in, and this, Billy Dodds, is one of the most intriguing Celtic Rangers games that we've had in quite a while, I would imagine.
Yeah, no standout favourites in this one so far, and both teams coming into it in the back of wins as well, so there'll be plenty of confidence going into it, but you can't say there's a clear-cut favourite, Liam.
Giga with a long ball down the right, but he's booted it behind for a Celtic throw-in deep inside their own half on the near side. Packy Bonner watching this one. Celtic more like it the other night. Pat against Falkirk, they've been looking to set the tone early here.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to see the changes actually that maybe this team has adopted under a new manager, if any, and then we can maybe discuss them afterwards, but certainly they'll be hoping that whatever changes it is will bring success to them, similar to Wednesday night.
Well, Brendan Rodgers certainly had Rangers' number in matches here. In fact, nobody's got a better winning percentage in this fixture than the now former Celtic manager. Martin O'Neill comes in 3rd in that list. Stephen Gerrard in between the two of them. O'Neill faced Rangers 4 times at Hampden. He won just the one of them. It was in the semis of this tournament. In his first term as he led Celtic to the treble, which was their first in many decades, and how they've gone on to enjoy clean sweeps over the course of the last 12 years as Trusty plays it to the right to Ralston, out to Engels, and then back to Anthony Ralston. He rolls it back to Austin Trusty. 4 starters for Celtic, 4 for Rangers that started last season's final. And Sirachi rolls it back to Scales. And then Trusty. You get anything close to what we saw in the second half of that cup final, then it should be some afternoon. What we don't want is a repeat of what we saw at Ibrox at the end of August. which was absolutely dire.
One thing I'm noticing right away, that Celtic wingers are staying high, and it's just keeping Rangers wing backs back the park, and then that Celtic getting plenty ball across the back line, Liam. They just can't get out just now, Rangers.
Sirachi has it, level with the edge of the D of the Rangers box, rolls it back to Scales, short ball forward to Sirachi again. It's the Uruguayan. Back to Scales and in field to Callum McGregor, who is one of the fall guys the last time Celtic were here when they lost the Scottish Cup to Aberdeen. The first time he's ever lost a cup final in his career. Rangers clear from the edge of their own box into their own half, and it's Trusty short to McGregor. Then back to Austin Trusty, who was one of those who started the cup final 11 months ago. Out to Engels on the far side touchline, to Ralston, who goes all the way back to Kasper Schmeichel.
Yeah, Celtic have decent possession early on in the game.
Oh, that's a mistake. You guys let it come through him, and Tenecti's onto it. Left-hand side, Kenny's waiting in the middle, but Suter will bundle it out for a throw-in down by the corner flag on the near side. It's a real error from Nasser Giga, and he is fortunate that Tenecti's not found a better ball.
Yeah, that's what you don't want to do early in the game, is it? Just to unsettle yourself, making a basic error like that. Just miscontrol. The ball went under his foot and allowed Tenecti to get down this left-hand side. Thought he could have maybe picked out a better cross at the end up.
I'll tell you what, it's a mistake I was talking to Richard about.
Yeah, and Maida's in on the other side, pulls it across to the 6-yard line, and Giga gets it away. Good start, this, bright by the holders, and they've got a throw-in level with the Rangers penalty spot over on the far side. A little bit of jitters at the back for Rangers in these early stages. 0-0, we've played just over 4.
They want to play a 3-4-3, Liam, but they can't get out. Look, there's that back five, they're pinning the wing backs back, so Celtic have got space all over the pitch and plenty of possession.
Sirachi picks up on the left-hand side, seeing a lot of in the infancy into the box. It comes to Kenny, who misses it. Maida can't get there either, and it's going to go behind for a goal kick, but it will be a free kick for offside, as you heard from Packy in the background there.
Yeah, he just went too early, Johnny Kenny. But again, you know, that ball goes wide. The first thing in their mind is to get the ball into the box, and you're hoping then that Johnny Kenny will make the right run at the right time.
See when Celtic pick a side, Liam.
Another poor ball out from Butland, picked up by Engels. Forward it comes, Kenny heads it back towards Engels. There's another flag over on the far side. The Rangers are sleeping in these opening 5 minutes.
As I said, they can't get out that fives there, but see when Celtic are building up and they pick a side, say they come to this left, you've got to fire your wing back high, and you're one of your centre halves of the three slide along and become a full back, but they're not doing that, and that's why they're remaining a back five, and Celtic are getting all the possession so far.
Possession for Rangers right now though, as Giga turns it back to Butland. He made that error just a moment ago, and there's another one where he's just booted it straight out of play for a throw-in on this near side for Celtic on this near side. Apologies for any bad language you might be hearing in the background. The Rangers supporters are showing their anger at what they are seeing at the moment. It's been a sloppy start by them, as Trusty picks up and rolls it out to Sirachi on this near side.
What's interesting there also is obviously Trusty's playing over on the right hand side, he's left footed, but he's bypassing Scales in that first pass out to the fullback nice and early. And I think he's done it now 3 times, and instead of just hitting that nice easy simple square pass, he just bypasses Scales, so it sets up Sirachi to be on the ball a wee bit quicker.
6 minutes in, 0-0. Throw in Tavernier down the right hand side, won by Sirachi, finds Nygren and then out to Tenecti, but his ball goes back towards his own goal and Asgard heads it on, and Chermiti chases. Scales gets there first, turns it back with his foot to his goalkeeper, who has to control on his 6-yard line, and then under pressure from Diamande rolls it into Ralston's feet, who then switches it out to the left here for Sirachi and infield to Scales, though Danilo put the pressure on him. Comes back to Sirachi, heavy touch allows Tavernier to win it back for Rangers. Now Raskan, it's a deflection off Nygren into the path of Diamande, won back by Celtic, but the referee's given a free kick here just inside the centre circle and just inside the Celtic half. Both Danilo and Diamande involved there, both of them on the score sheet in last season's final.
It's much better from Rangers though. Celtic pick the left, Tavernier's high, Giga's across full back, and suddenly things change a bit. They get a bit of pressure on the Celtic possession, nick the ball and get themselves a free kick.
Let's move just outside the centre circle here by the time Tavernier takes it. Martin O'Neill's made his way to the edge of the technical area. First game here since his last match in charge in his 5 years, when he won the Scottish Cup against Dundee United in May 2005, and here he is just over 20 years later. It's Tavernier with a free kick. Chip to the left-hand side of the box. Suter gets nothing onto it. Celtic get it clear. Tavernier forces it forward. Giga then Tavernier. Couldn't quite find Cornelius. He was up in support of the attack. Celtic get a half away, but it's picked up by Giga on this near side, who rolls it back to Mekhoma. He will do likewise and go back to Butland at the edge of his box.
Yeah, Celtic had a settle on that ball. It wasn't a great free kick.
There's a long one from the goalkeeper. Chermiti chases, but it bounces through to Kasper Schmeichel.
Yeah, I was going to say, if they just settled when they won the ball back, I think they could have a real counter-attack on there, but he can almost just panic and kick the ball away.
It's back to Schmeichel from Trusty. First time ball low out to Sarachi on the near side. Rangers trying to put pressure on when they're not in possession. It's a good header out to this near side by Kenny, who finds Tenekti. Kenny fouled by Raskan. That'll be a free kick to Celtic.
No, it's obvious that Celtic are getting it quickly to the full-back. Obviously, Rangers are playing with the three up front, but the two either side of the big striker, Chermiti, is very, very tight, and the spaces in those wide areas are getting it out to Sarachi, especially on this side, really, really quickly.
Ralston level the edge of the centre circle in the Rangers half to McGregor, and then Engels forward towards Maida. Cornelius for company down by the corner flag. It bounces out of play there for the game's first corner. Rise in Maida's tenacity, drawing that 9 minutes in, 0-0. But an opportunity here for Celtic from the set play.
Yeah, using their wide area as well. That's where they're going to have the 2v1s against a 3-5-2.
Played short and then out to the edge of the box. It comes. Ralston bends it back out to the right. Engels gets it across, low ball into the area, breaks it to Tenekti over the bar. Side foot, right foot effort. Chance for Celtic though, and Sebastian Tenekti will be disappointed he's not got that in target. 9.5 played. Celtic 0, Rangers 0.
Yeah, big chance. He had to take it first time when it came in. Space was there. He could have maybe taken a touch and just almost got under a better control, but he took it early, just leaning back slightly, trying to bend it in the left-hand side, but just got too much height on it and over the crossbar. But first half decent chance for Celtic.
He's got to concentrate and keep it down, even if he bundles it into the ground and what the goalkeeper, but leant back at the vital moment and skied over the crossbar.
Here come Rangers down the left. 40 forward for Mekhoma. He's up to the left angle of the box, changes pace, level with the 6-yard line. It's the cross in. Tavernier attacks it at the back post. It comes behind for the goal kick off the Rangers skipper last. 10 minutes in, it's better from Rangers. It's the first real opportunity there for Jayden Mekhoma to attack down the left-hand side, and that's clearly going to be such an important tactic for Rangers under Danny Rule as the attacking wing play.
Definitely, it's the first time they've been able to get their wing backs forward.
There's a chance for Celtic up the other end. Nygren pushes it forward, left-hand side of the pitch for Tenekti. It's going from one end to the other all of a sudden. Tenekti into the box, uses Sarachi on the overlap, dinks it across, delicate ball and cleared by Cornelius.
Rangers have got to sort that. I mean, it's brilliant from Celtic, but Rangers really need Giga to come into the full-back area at times, but he's not. He's staying in, and Tavernier's having to do 2v1, and he's never getting there, and they're able to dig out a nice cross.
It's already a heck of a lot better than the game at Ibrox in August.
That's a good game at the start, really end-to-end stuff.
There's Trusty, roamed it forward there to Kenny. Kenny looks up, scuffed effort from distance, blocked by Raskan, and it pops out to Danilo, who slips it to the left. Asgard chasing after it and gets there ahead of Ralston. Rides the challenge, drives across the halfway line, hugging the touchline on the left-hand side. Right in front of the North Stand, in front of the Celtic supporters. It's still Asgard, left angle of the box. He goes for goal himself, and Schmeichel holds on. He had a couple in the box. Chermiti was the closest if he was going to cross it in, but it's right down the throat of Schmeichel, who holds on, and it stays 0-0 after 11.5 minutes.
Yeah, I think I don't know what he was trying to do there. It was a shot, but he didn't had it straight at Schmeichel, but I think it's better maybe to get it into the back post, and that's maybe an area where Sarachi, who's not the tallest, is a wee bit vulnerable in the air. The last time we've seen a cross going in there, it was Tavernier get himself up from that wing back position and nearly out jumping him at the back post.
trying to trick the goalkeeper as if he was going to put the cross into the back area and just whip it, but he was never doing Schmeichel from there.
Rafael and Maida, meantime, a Celtic attack this time. The last few minutes have been a little bit like a basketball game, as Maida wins the free kick about level with the Rangers penalty spot on the far side.
We're not complaining, Liam.
Far from it. Frank Connor, the linesman on the far side, was waving his flag frantically for the Celtic free kick right in front of the hordes of Rangers supporters, who were quick to tell him that they disagreed with his decision. Anyway, Celtic free kick. It's going to be a chance for them to capitalise here in a good area of the pitch. And it's going to be Nygren to take this one, left-footed, bends it in, slightest of touch is blocked in the 6-yard line, breaks to Tenecti, left-hand side of the penalty area, 3 blue shirts around him, rolls it back to Sarachi, low ball to Tenecti, tries to get away from the first defender, which he did, but the ball evades him and Rangers clear, and now it's up to Chermiti. Maida slides in, but he's given away the free kick there. Looked like he got enough of the ball, but the referee doesn't think so, and Rangers have a free kick right of the centre circle.
Yeah, I thought you're right, Liam. I thought he just got enough of a nick on it. He got back really quickly, as we would expect from Maeda, and Chiri was... Yeah, it's hard to know. It's difficult to actually see the replay there, whether he's caught him. I think the referee was probably in his right maybe to give the free kick, but it just kills the game a wee bit, just takes the heat out of it.
I think Chermiti gets away with one.
Martin O'Neill was installed as Celtic manager in the summer of 2000. His opposite number today, Danny Rule, was 11. Twice his age, the Rangers manager to the left, Martin O'Neill to his right. And such success that he had, and really all Celtic success over the course of the last 25 years. It all began under the stewardship of a veteran Northern Irishman who's down there still going through the motions. Such a successful playing career as well did O'Neill, as that stink forward. Schmeichel out for Maida on the far side and rolls it back down the line for Ralston midway inside his own half to Trusty.
Yeah, I just see on this side here it was Tavernier that elected to go high and leave the Celtic's winger to put a bit of pressure on Sarachi, but that opens up space then, and as the Rangers back three have got to slide across.
That was pretty poor from Tenecti. He's in a fabulous position left-hand side of the box. He chose to go back towards his own goal, and his pass back to Sarachi was cut out, but Celtic have it back in any case, with Trusty turning it out to Engels over on the right-hand side. Back into his own half here for Austin Trusty. He squares it to Scales, who was a substitute in last season's final.
See, Danilo wants Tavernier to go there and get up on Sarachi, but he can't because your centre-half's not willing to do Tenecti, Giga staying in. Tavernier has to stay, and you can see them, they're getting frustrated, Rangers.
McGregor as well to flash it forward to Sarachi from inside the centre circle, out to the left for Tenecti. He goes back to Scales, and with the left foot from left to right of the centre circle to Trusty, steps into Rangers territory. Short ball to his right for Ralston, and then back to Trusty again. Fires it forward, side foot ball to Nygren. Raskan's all over him. It's a challenge in. He's out of play on this near side for a throw into Celtic. He's played almost 16 minutes, no goals as yet.
Nygren, he's playing obviously higher up the pitch, but finding that little bit of pocket of space, and again, you can see the directness from Celtic trying to pick him out.
Scales stepping away from Danilo inside the centre circles. A good run forward by Liam Scales. Forward to Kenny. Nice touch. The two Irishmen combining well. Left hand side's Tenecti. It's way too close to Butland. Indeed, Kenny and Maida trying their utmost to get there first. But it's in the gloves of the Rangers goalkeeper. That's excellent play there between Scales and Kenny. Really good interchange between them.
Yeah, Scales breaking forward from that sort of centre back position through the heart of Rangers midfield, and then just able to pick out Kenny, and then him linking the ball wide to Tenecti. I thought Tenecti, obviously not his strongest foot, his left foot, and he just failed to get enough bend on that ball to put it into an area where the Celtic players could get in and attack, and it was straight into the goalkeeper's chest.
Scales, short ball to McGregor. Just outside the centre circle in his own half. He plays it to Trusty. Takes it up towards the halfway line, crosses into the Rangers half, and forward to Nygren. And then rolls it out to Engels on the right. Now Ralston on the touchline. Back to Arne Engels, down the right-hand side for Nygren. Level with the 18-yard line, steps back. Turns it out to Engels on the right-hand touchline. Looks to work the 1-2 with Ralston. Sit back, it does Engels, but he can make nothing of it. Makoma with a good challenge, and Cornelius picks up for Rangers. Finds Makoma, gets it touched round Ralston, dinks it forward onto the chest here of Sharmiti. Trusty with the challenge, breaks to Asgard, breaks to Sharmiti. Has it bobbled off Asgard, but he's been robbed, and Maida's in behind. Chance! Saved by Butland. Best chance of the game so far. It comes inside the opening 18 minutes, and it was Dyson Maida who's played in after the Rangers gave it away so cheaply again. What a chance it was. It stays Celtic 0, Rangers 0.
Yeah, real tenacious work against Celtic. 1.5 ball back. That's about 30 yards out, and this time...
Yeah, quick free kick's been taken by McGregor.
Oh, it's a goal.
Is in! Celtic score! It's bobbled and bounced off Benjamin Nygren, I think, in the end, and then off the defender, and it loops into the net, and Celtic have got the lead. One of the Rangers midfielders back trying to help in defence, could do nothing as it drifts past Jack Butland, and it is the holders who strike first here at Hampden. Celtic 1, Rangers 0.
Well, that all came from tenacity, wasn't it, really? You know, Celtic initially, they had that big chance from Maeda again, really pressing the ball, a counter press early on, then they get the free kick, and then McGregor puts it down, takes it quickly, and Maeda, was he offside? Was he offside? You know, but obviously the ricochet, was he offside in that first phase? That was the only question. When the ball came to Nygren, when he played him in, just was he a half-yard offside? I'm not 100% sure. But again, then obviously the big centre back, you know, he goes Giga and he just flails at it.
He's booted it off Raskin. And it's bounced back past a helpless Butland. But there is an active VAR check for an offside here, presumably against Dyson Maida. So it's not certain that this goal's going to stand.
Yeah, it was the first phase, wasn't it? You know, and when McGregor took it quickly, Nygren just lays it into his pad. He might have been just...
He looks off.
It's hard to know. It's hard to know. It's very tight. I'm just looking at Giga's right foot, leg also just might have played him on. It's going to be the lines is going to be drawn. Oh, it's off.
No goal. The goal is ruled out, and it stays 0-0. What a boost that is for Rangers, because they thought they'd just gone behind, and massive sigh of relief from Nikola Raskin down there in particular. It stays Celtic 0, Rangers 0 on 20 minutes. Well, huge let-off for them.
Well, they've not started well, Rangers, have they? I mean, that is so close. They actually play the first pass for the free kick, so it's not about that. Then Maeda tries to get back onside. I'll tell you what, it must have been millimetres, never mind inches. I mean, it's incredible. But, I mean, Giga didn't do Raskin any favours either with the panic clearance, just boots it off him. Yeah. But they get away with one.
But that's the kind of nature of it with the VAR just now, Billy, because that's as good as a goal for Rangers.
Oh, they should get from that, but they've got to start doing the right things on the pitch. They've got to get Tavernier higher, Magoma higher, and the centre-backs, the wide centre-backs, have got to be able to play in full-back areas and be comfortable to release them. If they don't, they'll be pinned back all day.
So it stays goalless here in Glasgow. Live in Sportsound, the second of the League Cup semi-finals, here on BBC Radio Scotland across the frequencies, on digital and online at bbc.co.uk/Sport Scotland. Celtic giving it away, and it's Raskin with a side foot low ball out to Makoma on the left. He passes it back to Cornelius. Rangers getting some much needed possession as Makoma manages to force it forward there to Danilo and Chamiti. Oh, he's put it wide, what a chance. 6 yards out. What an opportunity. McHoma did well down the left-hand side, played into the penalty area. Danilo standing behind Chermiti, who attacked it 6 yards out, and somehow he side-footed it past the left-hand post, and it stays 0-0.
Some pass from McHoma. Suddenly they Diamandi, sorry. And I mean, suddenly they get the wing-backs high though again. McHoma flying past him. Diamandi with a brilliant pass. He's always getting there first. He's got to lift it. He's got to get it over the goalkeeper. Do something, but make sure you hit target, even if the goalkeeper saves it. But to put it wide, oh my word, what a chance.
What a chance. That comes actually from Schmeichel getting the ball. I just wondered what he was going to do when he has the ball at his feet. Will he pass through McGregor or pass to the fullback? He tries to go long up to Johnny Kenny. Raskin read it brilliantly, that's that defensive role in front of his centre half, and won the ball, and that then triggered Rangers to get high up on the left-hand side.
Celtic have it now. It's McGregor, left-hand side, entertaining fair this. McGregor infield to Nygren. Forward it comes to Kenny, looking for McGregor, just a bit too much on it. McGregor can't control, and Rangers can get it away. With Tavernier still just outside his box as he calmly slips it to McHoma on the left. Played a quarter of the semi-final. McHoma's pass is poor, but Rangers get it back with Diamandi sliding in Ralston. It's a proper slugfest this right now, and Cornelius goes in with a challenge and gives away the free kick, and it's a yellow card as well for the Canadian defender.
Yeah, I'd just like to see that again. Obviously, it looked as if that, who was it? Was it Kenny that was on the ball?
He delayed on it too long.
Delayed it, and he was going to hit that diagonal ball over to Tenecti, and he just, when he went to strike it with her, oh yeah, it's a bad tackle. That's a bad tackle.
It's yellow.
Really bad
yellow
tackle.
Right for that then? Is it the right decision to award a yellow card?
Lucky he's low. He's jumped into it, and he's got a bit of the ball, but he's gone over the ball and caught him in the ankle as well. So he's low. He's lucky. If any higher, I think he's going off.
Yeah, that's a poor tackle for a centre half to come that distance and dive in. I know what he's trying to do, trying to block it, but he's all caught the player too. So he's lucky, man.
Callum McGregor will take the Celtic free kick. He's taking it low to the right for Ralston, level lay into the Rangers box. Then it comes headed away by Raskan. Nygren as a snapshot. He's claiming corner. He's getting one. James McFadden's watching this one. What are you making of it?
It's been brilliant. We asked for an entertaining game. I think we've got that. Two teams full of energy. Celtic been on top, but arguably Rangers with the best opportunity, which Chermiti, he really has to find the back of the net, but tackles are flying in. There's both sets of players are at it, and it has certainly been entertaining so far.
Celtic have had 65% possession up to press, as Engels with an out-swinging right-footed corner from the north stand side. The header's in, and that one will count as Johnny Kenny rises in the right angle of the 6-yard box to flick it into the top left corner. An outstanding header from a man who's beginning to catch fire in the green and white hoops, and this time the holders do have the lead. Celtic 1, Rangers 0.
Yeah, brilliant ball in, pace on it, right into that sort of almost 6-yard box, just beyond the near post. Johnny Kenny getting across. I'd just like to see it again in the replay. Yeah, he's just out-jumped the marker. Yeah, they should have done better there, Rangers, from a defensive perspective.
Raskan drifts off the post and goes too far forward. Take nothing away. It's you're right, Pat.
Header.
A brilliant delivery, a brilliant run, a great header. But if Raskan stays and then attacks, he probably clears that. But it's sailed over his head. Kenny isn't given a jot. He just gets a head on it, glances it away into the far corner.
It's a brilliant striker's header, and Johnny Kenny, he got a double against Falkirk during the week, takes his season's tally to 4, takes his Celtic tally to 5, and that one will mean more than any of the others he's managed to score so far. And might he actually end up being the answer to Celtic's striking prayers as McHoma clears down the line for Rangers on the far side and gives it straight to Ralston. Now it's with Kenny, blocked by Suter, then Cornelius, now it breaks to Giga. This ball forward straight to Scales, who feeds it out to Sirachi on the near side. Long ball with the left foot. Nygren chases. Giga is the recovering player for Rangers. Giga gets there and turns it back to Butland. You just get the sense now the next goal in this one's going to be crucial. And Martin O'Neill will be desperate that Celtic capitalise on their dominance, but here come Rangers with Diamonde. Through it comes towards Danilo, but it comes all the way through to Schmeichel, and it stays Celtic 1, Rangers 0 on 26.5.
Yeah, the tempo in the game, the intensity. Obviously, you can see both teams when they get the ball, they're going forward on their first, second touch, and they're chasing it down. And it's a really, really intense game at this moment in time.
It's unbelievable, Pat. I mean, the intensity of it. This is Martin O'Neill written all over it in terms of just energy. And then Rangers have got to match it. They're doing their bit at times, but my word, what a game, what a pace with a bit of quality as well.
Spoke to James McFadden just before the corner was taken there, James, and having dodged a bullet with the VAR decision, Rangers find themselves behind straight after that corner.
Yeah, they do, and I think, Dodge is spot on. The energy, this is the most, the highest tempo I've seen Celtic play with this season. With the ball, their desire to go and hunt it back, and certainly, Martin O'Neill was having a big impact on this side. Celtic have been the better side. They've been in control, but Rangers have looked dangerous on that counter-attack. But they have to go, and you mentioned it, they have to go and get the next goal, or else this could be a long afternoon.
Rangers are toiling, and it's Johnny Kenny driving down the right. He's away from Souttar. Still it's Kenny! Great save, Butland! On target. Good grief, Packy Bonner. Johnny Kenny's growing up in front of our eyes here.
Yes, indeed. And, a couple of weeks ago, that wasn't happening. He was getting into, we talked about his energy, running down the side of people, and then things weren't coming off for him. But today, everything, even in that tackle, he wins the tackle against John Souttar initially, and then forces a brilliant save. You've got to save from the goalkeeper.
The man just wants to score goals. You can see it.
It's a corner for Celtic. It's the same side as from where they scored just a couple of minutes ago. Outswinger again from Arne Enkels, headed away by Sharmiti this time. Then Ralston with a sliced attempted volley, goes up high into the air, and Butland holds on to it and rolls it out to Tavernier on the near side, but there's a foul by Maida and Butland.
But the energy, of course, from Celtic's forward players too. Every single one of them, they're chasing down. They're not giving Rangers any time really to pick a good pass from the back.
Do you know what else is back, Packy? It's the quick free kicks, the quick set plays.
Yeah, and that was a huge part of their game. You remember when Joe Hart, even at the back, was getting the ball when there was a goal kick, he was putting it down quickly, taking it out, and that energy was there. So, and that comes from a mentality. There is no question about it. You don't switch on within 2 weeks.
Brilliant turning ball from Danilo. Raskan's in up the other end. Schmeichel saves, and it goes behind for the corner only. And Raskan's left, standing looking at the goal frame, holding his head in his hands. Another glorious opportunity for Rangers comes and goes on the half hour just about. They trail Celtic by 1-0.
Brilliant from Danilo, drops in the pocket, just turns left foot, reverse pass, puts Raskan right through, and you're thinking, can he make amends for the goal? Maybe go across the goalkeeper, tries to get through the legs. It's a really good save from Schmeichel though.
Breathless stuff at Hampden. Tavernier to take, outswinging corner from this main stand side. Bends it in towards the 6-yard box, headed away well by Scales. And now Maida's onto it as he hunts the ball down. He's away from Danilo, he's across the halfway line. Dies in Maida, looking for support now. Rangers funneling back in numbers, and Maida gives it away to Danilo, and he hauls Danilo to the ground. He had a fistful of the light blue shirt as well, and there's no yellow card. The referee must have missed that one. It looked like a professional foul and a yellow card all day long. It hasn't been given though.
There was one a couple of minutes ago, the exact same fact, worse than that, and he never booked him either. I mean, it's a straight yellow, there's no even a doubt about it. Maybe he's wanting to keep his cards in his pocket so there's no sending off, but there should have been 2 yellows for Celtic players for deliberate pulls.
Celtic 1, Rangers 0. It's Rangers on the ball down the left-hand side with McHoma. Runs into Ralston, who gives away the free kick, and it will be the Celtic supporters' turn to have a go at referee Nick Walsh this time.
Yeah, just go back to that chance with Raskin. I think as soon as he took that an extra little touch, it gives Schmeichel the opportunity to come out, close down the space, and then spread himself into that sort of 5-point save. And there was very little space for him he's got to get luck then to knock it past him. I thought he could have maybe even cut it back. Chermiti was probably in a position where it takes the goalkeeper out of things.
Watch Cornelius run here. He usually runs right across and then darts in. Got his goal against Kilmarnock like that.
James Tavernier over the free kick, which is level with the edge of the D of the Celtic box, over on the north stand side. Two-man Celtic wall at the angle of their penalty area. What can Tavernier come up with here? Rangers looking for an equaliser. Both managers down there. Martin O'Neill's outside his technical areas. It comes in towards Jarmiti, who doesn't make clean contact, and it goes wide for the goal kick. Has he got to just throw his head at that and try and make contact to force it home? It stays 1-0 Celtic on 32 minutes.
Yeah, listen, the ball travels a long way there, almost to the very back post. And I know Schmeichel initially would be picking up that, a little bit closer to his near post in case Tavernier was going to bend it in, but it was a hell of a distance out. I thought he could have maybe come and punched it. The defenders had no chance there. Jarmiti should have got contact maybe on the ball. I'd like to see that one again.
I think he should score. If he's braver, just take a knock, just bundle it over the line. I mean, it's glorious opportunity. Rangers have not played well, but my word, there were some chances in the game. Celtic have been the better team, but you can't keep missing gilt-edged chances like that. Jarmiti's missed 2.
Yeah, I mean, they've had 3 superb opportunities to score a goal in this match, and they find themselves 1 down. And he's at the back post, and he went with the right foot rather than the head. Anyway, he will hope that he will get another opportunity at least before his time's up in this game, as Giga was back to Butland.
He doesn't look comfortable at times, Giga, doesn't he?
He's one of those days, Pat. He's brilliant during the week, but looks a bit vulnerable today, Giga.
And Ralston goes down, and he's got a free kick for a foul by Jarmiti on him, and it will be a Celtic free kick midway inside their own half.
An incredible first half hour of this game. 25 minutes anyway. The chances, the intensity, obviously a goal chalked off. Has had everything.
33 Pat has gone that quickly.
Yeah.
Celtic have it on the near side with Sarachi up the line for Tenekti, just inside his own half, being forced back the way in. Raskan slides in, wins it back now to Tavernier. He finds Asgard, who's been on the periphery of things so far. Back to Diamonde, into the path of Mekhoma. First time loopy ball into the box. Michael holds on the 6-yard line, claims, and that's exactly what his defenders wanted to see. And it remains Celtic 1, Rangers 0.
Yeah, it was a big loopy cross, wasn't it? You would expect him to come easily and take that. A little bit more, kind of a lower trajectory might have caused him a few more problems.
It's a long ball towards Tenekti. Giga will have to be careful. He gets his head onto it, but he heads it straight at Kenny. Tenekti trying to stay onside. Kenny can't find him anyway. And he comes right through to Butland.
Lucky man, because I'll tell you what, it was a poor header, wasn't it? Back into Johnny Kenny's path, and he could have easily slipped into Tenekti, and it was just poor pass at the end up.
The team that scores first has only lost this fixture 5 times out of the last 45 meetings since they renewed acquaintance in the same league in 2016. One of those examples was here, though. Greg Taylor gives Celtic the lead in a Scottish Cup semi-final, and Rangers won it after extra time before going on to lift the trophy in the final against Hearts, just days after the Europa League final. But it's not often the team that scores first doesn't win this match, and this doesn't lose it. Engels under pressure from Asgard, gets it back to Ralston, who hoofs it forward with the right foot. It's ended up being a good switch of play out to Sebastian Tenekti. Gets away from Giga. Tenekti controls in the knee, left-hand side of the box, and Tavernier covers back and puts it behind for the corner. This is a really important phase in the game for Rangers, you feel here. They're trailing 1-0, not taking chances at one end and coughing up opportunities at the other.
Again, I know it's happened quickly, and they've nicked it and they've cleared it with a diagonal, and it's sailed over Giga, but he's not really realising where Tenekti is, and then he's on the chase and he misses the contact. He lets Tenekti bring it down and get at him. He's lucky that Tavernier's covering round after the ricochet. He just looks, it's an area I'd be targeting, and Tenekti is staying high and pulling Rangers all over the place at times.
In swinger from Engels on this near side. Celtic looking for another one, 9 minutes shy of the half-time whistle. Engels into the 6-yard box it comes, headed away by Jarmiti. Leaks to Tenekti from McGregor, works it to Engels, he goes down, fouled by Danilo. Free kick Celtic, level with the Rangers penalty spot. Left-hand side of the box here. And It's a clumsy looking challenge from Danilo, and you can see the way just Engels was moving for it. He says, the least I'm getting here is a free kick.
Yeah, it obviously comes from, he's back in an area, defensive area, because he had to be, but certainly that is not it's a forwards tackle. Is that how I put it?
Well, whatever it is, it's a chance for Celtic. Engels and Nygren are over it. The Swede just leaving the scene now and joining his teammates in the box. I just wonder if Engels tries to flip this towards the left corner.
I'd be putting on target, Liam, you're right, and then if they miss it, and they'll steam in.
Butland's showing quite a bit to his right. Engels left of the goal. Engels, and it comes. All it needed was a touch, and it comes through to Butland, and Nygren was inches away from making contact, and you felt any kind of contact probably putting Celtic 2 up. Very
much so, and there's a hugely difficult, there's a chance for Rangers on the counter-attack. Well, I wouldn't call it a counter-attack, it's direct play.
Good play by Diamonde on the far side, chips at the edge of the box. Chermiti wins the header, Tavernier chasing after it, bundled away by Sarachi. And Engels with his header, more height than distance. Tilo Asgard. Oh, he's gone in at Ralston, that's a sore one. Oh, he's off, straight red. Straight red card for Tilo Asgard. He's got his arms outstretched, he's on the deck. But he's left Anthony Ralston lying in a crumpled heap on the ground.
I'll tell you what, first impressions, I don't know how intentional that was. He's looking at the ball, it's up there.
I don't think he sees the Celtic player.
No,
I don't think he does, but his boot is really high.
We'll see if he catches him, and if he catches him, he's got to go, whether it's intentional or not.
He's flicked the ball over, hasn't he? And he's watching the ball, but he raises his foot and then obviously catches the player. I think you're right.
I don't know if it needs all the afters, that's what I'm saying, because no, it's not. He's gone. He's stupid.
Yeah,
I take all back.
I'm afraid that Tilo Asgard, this red card's going to stand. And Rangers have just received a savage blow in their quest to try and reel Celtic back in here. And the holders are going to be a goal up. They're going to be a man up as well. The decision's been confirmed. Nick Walsh pointing to the tunnel, telling Asgard to get off the pitch. Rangers down to 10 men. The Norway international is gone. And does he take Rangers League Cup hopes with him?
Yeah, it's a huge blow to Rangers. Obviously trying to get back into the game, a goal down, but it was a bit naive. When he's done the first piece, it was good. Technical play, but then you've just got to be a bit more calmer in the situation. You're stretching for the ball, your foot's high, you're into the player who's coming towards the ball, and I don't think the referee had any other choice there, Billy.
No, when I saw it again, I'm thinking, right, he doesn't see the man, but then he's an opportunity to pull out the tackle and then just make sure I'm not getting sent off. I might get there late, but when he doesn't get there and he leaves the boot into the thigh, there's no other choice for the referee but to send him off.
Yeah, what we don't see in real time is that opportunity of the split second to pull out of the challenge.
First impression, I'm thinking harsh, and then I'm thinking, oh no, you've got to go.
It's a good decision by Nick Walsh. And Rangers are in big trouble now. Here comes Maida as he kept it in play. Well, the ref's going to bring it back. Maida was in right-hand side of the box. He's going to bring it back. There's another Celtic player on the deck. It's Engels this time. And Rangers are in danger of losing the plot here. It's Raskan this time. Nick Walsh trying to defuse the situation. But this could get away from Rangers very quickly all of a sudden.
Yeah, they just got to settle down, haven't they, a little bit. I know it's frustration maybe, but ultimately they have got to just keep calm. Raskin's always going to be in the middle of these things.
Could he have played advantage there? I'm thinking.
He could have.
Well, it will be a free kick to Celtic over on the far side. McGregor over it.
I think the referee stopped it because the game's heated up, and I think he just wanted to calm everybody down, calm it down.
Almost in 41 minutes. Celtic 1, 10-man Rangers 0. Sarachi thinks the ball into the box. Maida chesting it down to Nygren, out to the right for Ralston. Celtic smell blood here as the cross comes in. It's headed away. Breaks to Tinekti. It's to the left angle of the box. Rolls it to Trusty. And now it's Tinekti. He's away from Chermiti. Couldn't get away from Tavernier, who steps onto it and clears. But he can only find touch, and Celtic have a throw-in on the near side. Bowled back to Callum McGregor and in field to Scales.
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether Rangers would change it to go to a back four now to give them maybe a player a little bit higher up the pitch. They're going to be outnumbered in certain areas.
It's a 5 diamond now, that's what they're doing. Just Raskan sitting in front of that back 5. Only one striker with Danilo and Diamandi just in behind them.
Billy won't thank me for bringing up the 6-2 game in 2000, which was Martin O'Neill's first taste of this fixture. You remember Fernando Rickson sent off that afternoon, the red card, and Dascard today, and here comes Celtic with Nygren over the bar. Diamandi had a couple of opportunities to get rid of it. Somehow, as Giga tried to cover, it's been put over the bar by Nygren, who's missed a whole heap of chances recently. 42 minutes, Celtic 1, 10-man Rangers 0.
Yeah, Celtic are quicker to the ball, aren't they, in those forward positions anyway, and again inside the box, and I thought he could have left it to Johnny Kenny just to slide the ball past the goalkeeper, and he took it on with his weaker foot on the right hand side and scaffed it by the post.
Giga's toiling. He's just toiling in the game.
Yeah, you could see it right away. He looked nervous, and the ball went straight through him. I think it made him worse, and then he just doesn't know what position to be in, whether I'm going to be out in the full back area. That's the way they want to play it. I've done it. We've done it before.
Well, can I ask you how do you play this now? Because when you were there, the game against Athletic Club, you were down to 10 men. You got a result. You didn't win the game, but you managed to come out with the goalless draw, the Aberdeen match as well. How would you go about this now if you're Danny Rule?
It's a 4-4-1 job just to try and get to a certain stage in the game, because Celtic are that compact, especially in wide areas, and then just see if you can nick one or hold. The only thing is today you can't hold firm because you're 1-0 down, but got to get yourself in the game with maybe 15-20 minutes to go.
Raskan waited way too long, and Nygren picks his pocket and knocks it out to Tenekte on the near side via McGregor.
Yeah, that counter press.
McGregor.
Sorry, Liam, that counter press from Celtic again is back, isn't it? You know, every time they lose a ball, they've got 2 or 3 players chasing it down again. Even the forward players, if it's more on the defensive side, they're running back, getting a little nick in the ball, winning it back.
Scales with an up and under from left to the centre, circles poor up to the edge of the Rangers box, headed away by McHoma. Rangers can't get out now, and their supporters are not slow in telling the players how much they are not enjoying their afternoon out here. McGregor back into the centre circle for Trusty, and to his left for Sirachi. Down the line for Tenekte, into Nygren, looking to work it through to Sirachi, gets goal side of Giga, who recovers well this time, hacks it back to Raskan, who will clear it with the right foot. Sharmiti chests it down to Danilo, works it back to Sharmiti, steps away from McGregor, cuts infield and away from Tenekte, but he was fouled. Free kick Rangers on the halfway line. I just wonder how much those opportunities, the 2 for Sharmiti, the 1 from Raskan, are playing through their heads right now. 1-0 down to 10 men into the final minute of the opening 45.
Well, you said that the first goal's so important in this fixture. Only 5 times it's been overturned.
45, yeah.
45, sorry. So it shows you how important it is. And Rangers miss golden opportunities without playing well.
Kenny's away. Kenny's away if Maida can find him, which he can't. Over on the far side, he passes it forward, but it breaks to McHoma, who moves it in field to Raskan, who gets to the head of McGregor, who made the challenge, but it's broken to Diamandi, who finds Tavernier in the centre circle.
Yeah, that was a big
2 minutes added on at the end of the first half here. Celtic 1-0 up.
Sorry, that was a big chance there for Maeda.
There's McHoma taking on Ralston down the left-hand side. Plays it off Maida, out for a Rangers throw-in, level with the Celtic penalty spot. Bowled back up the line for Raskan. Maida's all over him. There's a foul by Maida again, and once more he's avoided the yellow card. I'm not sure how many more of these he's going to be afforded.
Yeah, he's just chasing everything down, isn't he, mate?
Well, he looks more like himself, doesn't he, today?
Yeah, well, that's
a shadow of the player he was last season up to this point.
Yeah, that's what we've become accustomed to him over all last season. Whether, he's had a chat from the, I don't know who it would have been, Martin O'Neill probably. Does he speak Japanese? But certainly whatever they've got through to him, he's reacted.
1-0 Celtic. We played almost 1 of the 2 minutes that were added. Chance for Rangers though. Tavernier, well, it's a poor delivery all the way through to Schmeichel, who holds on. It's going to have to be a whole lot better than that for Rangers if they're going to make a fist of this. Here comes Celtic. Schmeichel to Nygren. Celtic looking for another before the break. Nygren bursting forward. He's deep into the Rangers half now. To the left-hand right-hand side of the box. Tenecti steps into it, lovely drop of the shoulder. Tenecti's in, plays it off Suter, and out it goes for the corner. Celtic hunting down a second here.
Yeah, he's destroying the big centre half, Giga, isn't he? You know, he's not comfortable coming out to confront him, and then obviously he got that quick feet to Tenecti, and he's just gone by him at the wall.
He's got to do more in that situation, but Suter comes across and covers well. But yeah, you'd expect it now because Celtic have the man advantage that they're going to get opportunities. It's just how you do last gasp defending.
Engels corner. This will probably be the final act of the first half, and full of drama as you would expect. Engels in swinger with the right foot, into the box it comes. It's headed up high into the air by Shermiti to the edge of the area. Tenecti heads it back forward. Celtic players chasing, but Butland's onto it. And Kenny, in fact, Trusty's going to be booked there for leaving one on Butland. Kenny was there too. The Rangers players are all around Nick Walsh. They obviously think this should be red. They're adamant. Well, the two Celtic players, it was Kenny and Trusty. The Rangers defence stopped, assuming Butland was going to get onto it, I think. Tenecti headed it forward. The two Celtic men chased it. Butland got his gloves on it, and he has caught him in the face. Austin Trusty.
Yeah, he's a lucky man.
I mean, that's crazy being a man. You're a man up, and you go and do something like that. Now, we've seen reds given for that as well, because he didn't have to leave his leg hanging and he was wide of him, and suddenly he just leaves the studs into his face. What is he doing? Austin Trusty gets away with one.
He's been yellow carded, and that looks as though that is the extent of it, so he's maybe gotten away with one there as the Celtic defender. Yellow only. There's been so much going on out there throughout these opening 47 minutes as it is now. Well, 48 now. And that's it for the first half. One half of Hampden delighted, the other furious. Nasser Giga's gone down, apparently injured down below us. He's got himself back to his feet there, but it is Celtic of the lead at the break. Johnny Kenny's header, outstanding it was too. Is separating the teams. That one going in on 25 minutes as he nodded home Engels' corner. They had the ball in the net before that as well. But Celtic, it was a Rascan own goal ruled out for an offside in the build-up. Rangers have had a hat-trick of opportunities, two for Shermiti, one for Rascan himself. And then Telo Asgard sent off as he went in on the high challenge, leaving the studs in high in the thigh on Anthony Ralston. He was left in a crumpled heap on the floor. So Rangers down to 10, Celtic a goal up and a man up at half-time in the second of the League Cup semis for the right to face St Mirren in next month's final. It is Celtic 1, 10-man Rangers 0.
Celtic versus Rangers.
Rangers in front! What a goal! Brilliant football from Celtic.
The Scottish League Cup, live on Sportsound on BBC Radio Scotland.
This is the incredible story of a player rejected by his boyhood club to rise from the ashes and become Serie A's most valuable player.
He was literally enshrined in a part of Naples.
Mick Fratima to the Napoli faithful.
Means brother in Neapolitan dialect.
We're going back to learn about how McTominay was made. This is Scott McTominay, our brother of Naples, on the Scottish Football Podcast. Listen on BBC Sounds.
Yeah, definitely worth giving that a listen, and certainly worth giving the second half of this one a listen. It has been exciting. It has been dramatic. It has been pretty much everything and anything you might have anticipated or hoped for. And it's Celtic who lead by 1-0 in the second Premier Sports Cup semi-final in the SWPL this afternoon. There are 4 games in the race for the title. Well, not all in the race for the title, but certainly a few of them with a bearing on that. Glasgow City, the leaders, 4-0 up on Aberdeen going into stoppage time. Hibernian have just beaten Partick Thistle 3-0. Montrose and Motherwell tied at 1 apiece, just going into stoppage time there, and kicking off at 4:10 Hearts against Rangers. And of course Celtic with that win against Hamilton on Friday night. Glasgow City, as things stand, will be 5 points clear of Hibernian at the top of the table. In the highlights from those matches on the SWPL highlights on the BBC Scotland channel, Monday night, 7:30, and of course throughout the week, the Scottish Football Daily podcast here on BBC Radio Scotland's all the coverage there wherever you pick up your podcast. Thursday night we are live with European action, Celtic, Aberdeen and Rangers all playing. Michelin against Celtic, Larnaca against Aberdeen, Rangers against Roma. 3 live commentaries. Sports Sound Thursday night between 5 o'clock and 11 o'clock. Still to come this afternoon, of course, all the second half action. Wow, it has been absolutely breathless at times. James McFadden, what's your take on the opening 45 minutes?
Yeah, well, before the game I asked for a bit of entertainment, life about the game, and something better than what they served up in August, and certainly we've had that high energy. Celtic have been a dominant side, but Rangers have had some unbelievable chances in the game. And we were hoping that we weren't going to have to speak about, decisions, red card for Taylor Asgard, the instant at the end with Austin Trusty. It's had it all, hasn't it? It's been some game to watch.
Right, well, let's talk about the play first of all. We'll get to those what could well be key decisions. There's no question in terms of overall play, James, that Celtic have been the better team.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you see a group of players rejuvenated. We haven't seen Celtic play with this tempo and this energy with the ball and without it this season so far. They've been so below par, but you're seeing energy. Dyson Maida, prime example. He is non-stop, back to what we're used to seeing. Callum McGregor in the midfield as well, getting on the ball, driving forward. And Celtic have just had so much energy, so much willingness to go forward, and when they lose it, try and force mistakes from Rangers. So they've had they've dominated the game in that respect, but the best chances have fallen to Rangers, there's no doubt. And Rangers, Chamiti's chance, particularly the first one, is a sitter. Yeah. It's a sitter. He's got to be finding the back of the net. I don't know if he actually commits to it. He's trying to maybe just let it hit off him. And the one at the back post, go and attack it. Similar. He's not committed to the strike. I don't mind him going with his foot, but when you do that and you let it come across you, it has to be, you have to get the good connection on it. You need to commit to it. You need to go and meet the ball. You can't be letting that hit off you and hope that it sneaks in at the near post. I think you should go and head it, but if you make the decision to go with your foot, you've got to commit. And Raskin's chance, for me, Dodge's described it, I think he's trying to sneak that in the near post. Kasper Schmeichel's legs are wide open, just roll it through the middle of them, and listen, it's easy for me sitting here because I can see everything, and obviously the flow of the game is that Celtic have been on top, but these are the chances that Rangers have to be taking, and if they do that, then it might give them that little bit of energy to go and try and be competitive and get back in the game. But so far it's been a domination from Celtic.
It looked as if they'd gone ahead in the 19th minute. It's what would have been a pantomime own goal where Giga tries to clear it and it flies off Raskin and into the net. I mean, it was marginal, but the lines were drawn. We have to go by the lines, so that one is ruled out. But it didn't take them long, and it was great movement, wasn't it, by Johnny Kenny?
Yeah, outstanding, and strength. The delivery's outstanding. Johnny Kenny's in the area where he's supposed to be. I think it's Magoma that's picking him up. He just holds him off, and it's a wonderful header, you have to say. He's looked bright, Johnny Kenny. He's looked tidy in his work as well when he's took the ball in, and he looks like he's a man that is desperate to score goals, and that is, as much as he has chances and no striker takes them all, but you can tell that's his sole thought is to try and get goals, and he's certainly grown over the last couple couple of games been the only option really for Celtic. He's taken that on, missed a lot of chances in the European game, but I loved his attitude of continue to get in the position, and you feel that when you've got a player like that, the goals come for them because they don't get too disheartened when they miss chances. They keep going, and he looks like the type of player that believes that I'll score the next one, I'll get the next one, so he just keeps going, keeps doing the right things, and he's been really bright. But I think Celtic as a whole have been so much sharper and look physically stronger than what they have done this season.
Right, just totally different, absolutely totally different from the last few months. Let's get to a couple of big calls then. The sending off of Taylor Asgard, I mean, it's just a shocking challenge, isn't it? It
is, but Richard, I actually feel for him a little bit because the ball's coming over his head and he's turning round to try and get, a contact on the ball. Ralston's obviously alert to it and he's going to stop it, but where he catches him, I mean, it doesn't have to be intentional. I think that it's the correct decision, and once Nick Walsh makes it, there's no way VAR can say, I think you might want to look at that again, because I don't know if there's as much force as what you think there is in it. But I do feel for him because he's not intending to catch Anthony Ralston, but he does, so it's a red card.
So he's off, Rangers are down to 10 men, and then in stoppage time it's not quite a scramble, but the ball bouncing clear into the Rangers box. A couple of Celtic players going in there. Jack Butland comes out, he slides out, he comfortably slides out and gathers the ball, and then Austin Trusty's coming in, and it was inexplicable at the last minute. He then just kind of waves out his right foot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he's doing, because look, when goalkeepers go down the ground, they know that there's a chance they're going to take contact, and they can get hurt, so you need to be brave as a goalkeeper. And if that happens when it's a 50-50 or a 60-40, then you just say, well, it's normal contact, it's part of the game. But Austin Trusty I don't know if he's not even thinking about what he's doing. Jack Butland comfortably has the ball in his possession, and he just swings his boot at his face. And Nick Walsh has seen it. I'm amazed he hasn't sent him off, because I get there's not a lot of force in it, but he's kicked him in the head.
Yeah, I have to say I totally agree. I think had there been more force, there would have been no option. He has to go, but why he's done it, and I mean there are Rangers fans here in this part of the main stand right behind us, and they were all leaning over desperately trying to see the replay, and well, there was uproar when they saw exactly what had happened.
Yeah, but Richard, you can't use that as a gauge, because they were outraged at Taylor Asgard's red card as well.
I can assure you I was not using it as an unbiased gauge, but I could understand why they were furious on that particular occasion. He's got off with one.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's in the context of the game, they've been so dominant. They've got the extra man. You expect that dominance to continue, and the control to be there till the end of the game, because they've started 11v11. They were the better side. They had the control in the game, they had the energy, they look like a team that are revitalised. But I have no idea. It's not even dipping a toe in to potentially get some of the ball. The ball is gone. He's nowhere near it. It's right at the end of the half, and it's 1-0. It's not as if it's a comfortable 2-3, 4-0. It's 1-0, and in any moment of madness can totally flip the momentum in this game. If that's seen as a red card, Rangers going at half time, the changes they probably will make would be different, because it's then man for man, it's level. It's just a crazy moment from Austin Trusty, and he is so lucky for me to still be on the pitch.
Yeah, listen, I agree with that, Richard. Sorry for coming in there. And the whole point about it is that it's in the opposition box. It's not in his own box even. You know what I mean? Where he might have a different mentality. It's in the opposition box. So stupid. Got away with it, absolutely.
The one thing I would add to that, one of them is unintentional, right? It doesn't matter, I know, and he gets a slight touch on the ball, Asgard, as well, but his foot ends up in the midriff, in the thigh area, and whether it's and unintentional or not, you just can't get away with going in these days with your foot that high. The other one, that is intentional. Whether it's forceful or not, he's raked his stud right down his face. I think he's a lucky boy still to be on the pitch, and I can understand why some of the Rangers fans are irate at the second decision. Not so much the first, because I still think it's a red, but the second one I can understand, because he didn't have to rake his studs down his face. He got lucky.
Right, Rangers had to make changes, don't they, to try to turn this game around, as there are signs downstairs that I think there could well be at half-time.
I wouldn't be surprised to see like Gassama coming on, pace, Ant-Man, just to try and counter-attack Celtic, because they're going to have to sit in deep, Rich. You know, you've seen the old formation. Do you think of a central defender in doing that? They might do, and go 4-4-1 and just dig in and try and get to, as I was saying to Liam in commentary, try and get to 15-20 minutes to go and have a go, and still have the counter-attack. Yeah, Giga has, you can see it as soon as he miscontrolled that first ball, then he volleys it against Raskan, that flies in the net, and then he has just looked so uncomfortable, the big man.
Well, the two sets of players are beginning to make their way out, and we will have confirmation of the change, or changes if indeed there are any, at half-time. It's 1-0 for Celtic. It's Johnny Kenny's fourth of the season. It was really well taken, but that doesn't even begin to scratch the surface of the talking points during what was a frantic, frenetic, fast-paced 45 minutes. 1-0 for Celtic as we rejoin our commentary team of Pat Bonner, Billy Dodds and Liam McLeod.
This is the 53rd time that these two have met in the League Cup. Celtic edging the head-to-head with 26 wins to Rangers 24. And the current holders of the trophy are big favourites now to go on and take their place in next month's final against St Mirren. Rangers are going to make a change. JD Gassama is coming on, so I'm going to look to see who he'll be replacing. Back three looks as though it's going to be the same for Rangers. Tavernier and McHoma. Chermiti's there, Diamonde, Raskan. The Rangers
Danilo, is it?
Throwing Gassama on for Danilo. Yeah, for the start of the second half. Celtic unchanged. Michael in goal. Ralston, Trusty, Scale, Sirachi, Engels, McGregor, Nygren, Maida, Tenecti, and the goal scorer Kenny. Rangers 10 men then. Butland in goal. Giga, Suter, Cornelius, Tavernier, McHoma, Diamonde, Raskan, Chermiti, and now Gassama. Gassama's pace has been put on to the Hampden pits for this second half. Danilo already down there with a jacket on, having enjoyed his evening in Leith on Wednesday. It will be Rangers to kick off the second half. The 10 men right to left in the blue and white. Celtic in the green and white, left to right towards their fans in the east stand. As Jack Butland launches it long, as it came back to him from the centre. Chermiti flicks on, only to Scales though. And Diamonde on the outside of the left boot comes all the way through to Schmeichel, who will underarm bowl it to Sirachi, who goes long down the left-hand side. Tenecti chasing after it, getting there, driving forward into the box to the byline, and Suter manages to knock it behind for the corner, with Tenecti rampaging in on Jack Butland's goal.
Yeah, go on, Pat.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, I think they may have just slightly switched to a back four. Rangers with Giga playing more out and right. He tried that in the first half. It didn't really come off. It didn't come off there again. But Tavernier maybe pushed forward a little bit more. But that's a big chance to take.
Engels corner. Over on the Celtic left as they attack the goal, to the right, in swinger with the right boot coming up from the Belgian here. Swings it in towards the back post. Maida flicks it behind for the goal kick, and it comes to nothing. The Celtic look for a quick-fire second goal that you would imagine would put this semi-final out with the reach of the 10 men. Martin O'Neill down there, still surreal to see him back in the Celtic colours on the touchline here, as it was on Wednesday night at Celtic Park. Tenecti over on the far side. Butland's long ball went straight to Sirachi, finds the Tunisian. Good turn there by Tenecti away from Tavernier out to the Far side touchline, light-footed ball back to Scales, left of the centre circle, sweeps it to the right for Ralston. And out to this far side here for Maida. He scored a hat-trick at this stage last season in there, taking a part of Aberdeen. And as Trusty picks up right of the centre circle, and now Scales out to the left-hand side for Sirachi. Knocks the ball forward looking for Nygren, cut out by Rangers with Giga. He took way too long and his pass is poor, and Celtic have it back with Engels in the midfield. Giga's desperately trying to retrieve the situations. He went in the challenge, but Celtic still emerge with it. It's McGregor back to Ralston on the halfway line. Now back with Schmeichel. Now this fixture, and the guys to my right have both played in it, can swamp you. And Celtic come forward. Giga's in trouble again. This time he slides into Nekti, gets there, and he puts it behind for the goal kick as he gets his feet wrong, and it stays Celtic 1, Rangers 0.
He's just not comfortable out there, is he? You know, and Tavernier's obviously trying to get him into position. You know, he's stepping kind of further forward into midfield, come right wing position, leaving the responsibility to them to defend that right back.
Yeah, right back. He's been forced out there. He's playing right back, and Tavernier's playing midfield. And a midfield three have got some shift, and sometimes there's a two up front, but sometimes Gassama, it's just like sometimes like a 4 diamond 1, and then they're trying to get 2 up front, so they're trying to play the pace for the counter attack.
Quite surprised Giga came back out for the second half.
I am, yes. I'm just looking at maybe somebody else could have stuck it, could have kept Tavernier at right back, but it's who plays right wing could have stuck Gassama, but they're actually playing it as a midfield 3, so you need another midfielder. So it might have been somebody like, it's a hard one, not many on the bench. Rothwell maybe?
It's going to be a Rangers free kick in the centre circle in the Celtic half. There's a kind of meat in the sandwich situation there. 2 Celtic players went in either side of Rascan, and it will be a free kick which Tavernier takes, chips it towards the Celtic box, headed away by Trusty, and then lashed wide, well wide on the volley there by Gassama, and he's just on. Cornelius is down. The referee's not allowing Schmeichel to get the play underway quickly there. So 4 minutes into the second half, it remains as it was. Celtic 1, Rangers 0. Remember, Thursday European action again. The focus as Celtic go to the Europa League leaders Midtjylland in Denmark. A huge match, that one. Celtic look to try and build on their victory over Sturm Graz last time out. AEK Larnaca against Aberdeen in the Conference League. As Celtic come through, Kenny almost in, Butland gets a save onto it. Still it's Kenny, plays it off Suter. Well, it hasn't come off Suter, it's going to be a goal kick only. Rangers are at home to Roma on Thursday as Celtic sprung to life there, and Johnny Kenny was in, left hand side, and shaking the head from his manager down there.
Yeah, it was that long ball again over the top, creating problems for Rangers. Suter gets back and almost knocks it nearly past his own goalkeeper, and Butland had to stick out his right hand to make the save. Johnny Kenny then just almost getting it caught, miskicked it actually.
And to make the save from his own man, didn't he? It was John Suter.
Yeah. And you know what, as soon as they go forward, they look more vulnerable just from one direct ball. Kenny's got brilliant movement, gets in between Magoma and Suter, and then Suter's forced to poke it back to his goalkeeper. We know the rest.
Quick free kick, Rangers. Tavernier looking for Shamiti, couldn't get it into the path of Gassama, and it breaks to Ralston, who finds Maida. Infield to Engels. Engels stabs it forward to Maida, just inside his own half. His ball back's poor, breaks to Rascan, who goes down, fouled by Ralston. Free kick, Rangers, and the Rangers supporters baying for a yellow card, which is duly delivered by Nick Walsh at Anthony Ralston. Well, as James was saying at half-time there towards the end of the break, at just 1 goal up, it could still change on a sixpence. Celtic, for example, get reduced to 10 men themselves.
Well, it should have changed on a sixpence because Trusty should have gone. It was cut to the chase.
Free kick Rangers on this near side, 4 or 5 yards from the near side touchline, midway inside the Celtic half. It's taken short to Mekhoma, back out to Gassama, level with the Celtic penalty spot, fancies his chances against Maida, who reacts well, but it goes out off the Japanese international and out for a Rangers throw-in.
I'm surprised that ball wasn't played in there. You know, that's your best chance, isn't it? You know, set pieces, you know, from any team, it doesn't matter if it's 10 or the 11, or, you know, put it into an area area.
Long thrown into the box from Taverniers, headed away by Trusty, breaks to the edge of the box, but Nakoma couldn't make clean contact. Celtic block and break down the left. Tenecte's got into the path of Marcelo Sarachi, driving forward. Giga trying desperately to get back at him and does well this time and goes down and wins the free kick. This time the Celtic supporters howl their derision at referee Walsh.
The one thing he's got, Giga's pace, and he had to show it there to stay with Sarachi all the way. I think Sarachi felt as if I've got the better of him here, but he's really quick. Sometimes his positional sense that lets him down, but he did really well on that occasion, and you can't say that much during the game so far.
Yeah, the game's got a little bit ragged now, hasn't it? You know, in this second half. Listen, 52 minutes in.
That'll suit Rangers, partner.
Yeah, well.
Martin O'Neill and Sean Maloney will want that second goal to come pretty soon. Long ball from Butland, headed away by Scales, breaks off the head of Diamondi, nods it forwards at a foul by Scales, no says the referee. Chermiti went down, but here come Rangers with Raskan, now Gassama. Raskan ahead of him, stabbing it forward, Ralston under pressure, gets it away. Only as far as Tavernier, his shot charged down by Sarachi. Bouncing loose ball breaks to Tenecte on the far side. This ball forwards cut out by Giga, but it breaks to Nygren. It is scrappy. All of a sudden, Tenecte has it on the left, up against Nasser Giga. Now he's attacking the byline. Is Tenecte, turns away from Giga, rolls it back to McGregor. Infield to Engels, encouraged to shoot. He does so, and he's not that far away. He forced Jack Butland to dive to his left, and it goes past the right-hand reverse post, and it's to Celtic 1, Rangers 0 on 53.
Yeah, that advantage of having that extra player created a 2v1 down on the left-hand side, and then when the ball's cut back to Engels, was it Engels? I think maybe had the shot. He's tried to bend it around the goalkeeper. He just didn't get enough bend on it, and it just went by about a yard past the left-hand post.
It's scrappier, but it's still exciting because players are direct. They're just getting cleaned out on occasion. They've been still going at it, still showing a high tempo. There's been a few mistakes in this second half, but it's still exciting.
Schmeichel bowls it forward to Scales, picks up midway inside his own half and rolls the low ball along the grass out to Tenecte on the far side. The challenge from Tavernier puts it out for a Celtic throw-in just inside the Rangers half. Danny Rule making his way to the edge of his technical area. Let's have other options. Subs this afternoon for Celtics in the Salo: Balikwisha, Yang, McCowan, Osmond, Atati, Murray, Forrest, Tierney. Rangers: Kelly, Aarons, Rothwell, Antman, Miovski, Fernandez, Moore and Curtis. Down goes Diamondi, no free kick, but Rangers pick up anyway. Tavernier forward to Gassama, rolls it to his left for Raskan. It's a dink ball looking for Chermiti, flicked away by Scales, offside anyway. Free kick Celtic, 1-0 Celtic, almost 10 into the second half.
Yeah, he was just offside, but he should be picking his run better because he's off the shoulder of Scales. Scales got a good touch on the header. He was under a lot of pressure, but he should have been able to know that he's offside looking across the line.
I don't want to pile on, but he's so naive, Chermiti. Just get yourself onside. Raskan's had a period in the game where he's been able to get his head up, so you've got to be onside.
Anthony Ralston with a big switch around about the halfway line, right to left, pumps it up high out to Tenecte, controls it, now he's attacking Giga again. Tenecte, little reverse ball, too much on it for Kenny to get onto, and it goes behind for the goal kick to Rangers. 1-0 to Celtic.
Yeah, Celtic exploiting that space and that switch of play, and I thought Tenecte should have done much better there. Rangers were really struggling to get bodies into an area to defend the goal. He's just picked a wrong pass, the wrong timing of the pass, overheaded.
Ralston's like a new player under Martin O'Neill. There looked to be a fear under him, like with Brendan Rodgers. I watched him at Ibrox and he was scared to take touches. Now he's switching play. I mean, really playing with a pace and a tempo as well.
Fouled by Maida, and this time he is yellow carded. But the Rangers fans making the point that he should have been booked in the first half and he should have been ordered off right now.
Now, listen, that one there is, the ball's bounced up, he's put his foot up to fly. He doesn't even see the player coming towards the ball. Very, very different from the other situation.
Yeah, but the point is, he had an unbelievable pull earlier on in the first half, and he got away with that one.
Fair point.
You just wouldn't be surprised if there's another red card in this match.
Feeling,
yeah,
just think
you do.
Totally agree with you.
Rangers free kick midway inside the Celtic half. Celtic have won the League Cup 22 times. They are the current holders. Incredibly, 8 of those 22 triumphs have come in the last 11 seasons. But a fairly indomitable record in the League Cup over more than a decade now. Rangers free kick, which James Tavernier will take. It's maybe about 8 yards away from the edge of the centre circle, central position in the Celtic half. Right-footed delivery, left-hand side of the box, headed away by Engels, only as far as Diamonde's efforts blocked by Trusty. Diamonde at the edge of the area, just couldn't work it out of his feet, and then the breaks to Meghoma. Now Sharmiti right-hand side, blows it straight off Schmeichel, who couldn't hold on, and it's clear by Sarachi. Rangers are come again here with Giga. They've been okay since the break, the 10 men. Diamonde switches it, left-hand side of the box for Raskan. Up and under, controlled by Sharmiti, and then for some reason he took another touch, and then he goes down, and Nygren comes away with it as Kasper Schmeichel smashes the post in frustration at the late offside flag.
Yeah, it's very late, wasn't it? That's it. That's the VAR situation.
Yeah,
it helps in one situation, and then you're frustrated in the next one.
Yeah, just they had to let the move play out, but Rangers were piling on the pressure. I'll tell you what, Diamonde's strike was flying. I think Trusty gets a block on it, but putting a bit of pressure on now. Rangers just throwing things in the box. Charmiti should do it well again, showing how naive he is, how young he is.
Schmeichel could be annoyed about the timing of the flag, but the fact is that if Rangers had scored there and a VAR check had proved that someone was offside, then that's where it comes into its own, that rule. As Tavernier picks up and finds Sharmiti on the right, slides it back to Tavernier. Level with the Celtic penalty spot on the far side, comes off Sarachi and out for a Rangers throw-in. 58.5 on the clock. Celtic 1, 10-man Rangers 0, but there's a real feeling at the moment that this semi-final certainly not done yet.
Yeah, sometimes that tenacity that Celtic are showing puts them into a kind of almost a borderline of giving away a free kick when you don't need to give it away.
Long throw-in into the Celtic box from Tavernier. It's flicked off a head. Whose head? It was a Celtic head. It's a Rangers corner. Danny Rule will be happy with what he's seen since half-time.
Really good spell. His shape's good because it's not just the two up front at times. Yes, he is playing that to try and get a bit of pace, but Gassama's dropping it in defensively as well, help out the midfield. The three in there are getting the biggest doing, and they're showing a hell of an energy in there. Tavernier, Diamande and Raskan to get about the pitch.
Tavernier's out swinging right-footed corner, the northwest section of the stadium, and it comes headed away by Ralston. Diamonde facing his own goal is to be careful. He wasn't careful enough, and Maida's onto it, but it's a heavy touch, which allows Meghoma just to thrash it into the north stand on the far side, and that will be a throw-in over there for Celtic, which has been taken really quickly. Sarachi to McGregor. Now it's with Scales, who leaves it for Austin Trusty. Trusty out to Ralston as we tick towards the hour mark at Hampden. As it stands, it will be Celtic facing St Mirren next month in the final, as Engels low ball into the Rangers box, cleared by Cornelius. Bouncing ball, Sharmiti trying to hold off Ralston. He's won the free kick as well. And there will be a Rangers free kick on this near side.
Yeah, listen, as Billy quite rightly said earlier, this suits Rangers to become a scrappy game, because they've got nothing to lose. When Celtic dominate the ball and start moving it around, then you have to run, and you have to really defend well in an organised manner. Here, just break it up a little bit, get players forward, get that ball forward, get into an area where you could put maybe Celtic under a little bit of pressure, and it's working for them.
Ball forward by Butland with the right foot from the free kick, headed away by Trusty. Cornelius on the halfway line nods it forward. Now it's with Tavernier. A little low ball out to the left for Meghoma. Infield to Tavernier and back to Cornelius. Side foot out to the near side touchline for Meghoma, looking to get it in behind Ralston with the chip ball, looking for Gassama. The Scotland international blocks it and clears it up towards the halfway line. Flicked on by Tavernier. Diamonde losing out in the midfield. McGregor goes back to Trusty. Now it's Ralston. Back to Austin Trusty. 61 minutes on the clock. Celtic 1, Rangers 0. Sarachi across the halfway line. Down it goes to Tenekte. Tenecte's got support from Sarachi if he wants, but he faces his own goal instead and passes it back to Scales. Loose one from Scales, and Raskan McGregor hauls him down. And Callum McGregor's the latest yellow card recipient in the semi-final. And a Rangers free kick.
I think he had to make the foul once. There's a slack pass from Scales to stop the break.
That's 3 Celtic players in the boot. Trusty, McGregor and Maida. Cornelius was booked for Rangers in the first half.
Celtic just can't get a hold of the ball and settle the game down. That's the biggest issue from Celtic's perspective. They can't control the game, and that goes back to probably that high energy and so on. Just now is the time when you have to just settle it down, use the advantage.
Long thrown in the box by Tavernier, comes off the head of Suter, and then nodded clear by Maida. Kenny hooks it clear all the way through. It comes to Butland, who's at the midway point of his own half. 4 Celtic players actually on yellows. Anthony Ralston's another. As the long chip ball forward for Rangers, headed away by Scales on his 18-yard line, out to the left for Sarachi. He turns it back to Scales. Rolls it back to Schmeichel. Shamiti chasing it down. Schmeichel gets rid of it. Camley out to Ralston on this near side. Long ball, Ralston looking to get Engels in behind. Engels gets a control in the chest. Kenny's waiting in the middle. He can't find him. Picked up by Cornelius. Gets it out to this near side for McHoma, who clears his lines. Header from Ralston, finds Engels on the near side touchline. Infield back the way to Ralston, and infield to McGregor. Left-footed ball from McGregor to Sarachi down the left-hand side. It comes to Tenecte. Celtic switch the play. Tenecte taking on Giga, looking to get to the byline and wins the corner. Celtic 1, Rangers 0. We played 63.
Yeah, listen, he did better that time, Jiga. He stood his ground, he just didn't dive in, just forced Tenecte down the wide area, used the line to help him as an extra defender, and he got his narrowed the space and got his block in.
James Forrest about to come on for Celtic. There might be more than the one change, actually. We'll see. Anyway, it is a corner to the holders. Arne Engels over there on the far side to take this. An in-swinger with the right foot coming up from the Celtic midfielder over on the far side. In it comes, it's flicked towards his own goal off Cornelius, and Rangers bundle it clear as Butler made the save. Ralston, McGregor, Cam disguise ball to Ralston, who shoots, and Butland saves, and behind it goes for another Celtic corner. Two chances.
Yeah, I've got to say that was an unbelievable save, that first save. He had no time to even see the ball, and it's down low at his left-hand foot, and I'm just obviously they've stopped play here, but what a save that was. I've got to say, to keep his team in it.
Yeah, just flicked that front area. I thought Scales was going to get on the end. I don't know if it comes off a Rangers player, but it comes at him so quickly, so direct, down to his left. Somehow save, beats it away. And then Raskan's there to clear.
The guys having a look at a replay there. The first one was pure reactions from Butland. There will be an Engels corner again, this time from the Celtic right. Outswinger with the right foot. Engels into the box it comes. It's flicked away off a Rangers head and cleared by Diamonde. Up to the halfway line where Sarachi nods it back to Schmeichel, who's midway inside his own half. Turns it short to his left there for McGregor. Dinks it looking for Tenecte. He's gone straight to Giga though. Controls in the chest. Forward it comes Diamonde. He's managed to do enough to get it forward to Gassama on the spin, and he's brought crashing to the ground by Engels, and there's Celtic's 5th yellow card. It's Arne Engels. They're taunting him up now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's about that balance between high energy, getting in there and making silly tackles and putting yourself into the referee's book. And yeah, you're right. You could see another send off coming here.
You still get that feeling.
Yeah,
I mean, there's so many now.
Gotta be very careful.
Yeah, just walking a tightrope. I mean, it's so close. You just got to pull out the tackles. The ones that have been booked, or they might see a bit changing. A couple who have been booked, because if it goes level, Rangers have been good this second half.
Well, Forrest's going to replace Tenecte. The first change by Martin O'Neill.
Yeah, I just see Johnny Kenny hobbling a little bit also. I'm surprised that maybe he hasn't looked at that.
He had to go left now. Forrest right. Little switch.
Yeah.
Well, James Forrest making his way on. Incredibly, James Forrest looking to win the League Cup for a 9th time, which would equal the record for a player set by Ali McCoist in 96-97. Callum McGregor as well is on that number 8 right now. And part of those triumphs over the last 11 years. James Tavernier will take the free kick, right-footed, loops it into the Celtic box. Cornelius wins the header, cleared by Scales. It's only halfway there, a volley at goal, which is well wide with the left foot. Was never really threatening. Kasper Schmeichel, Mohamed Diamonde, who was amongst the goals in the final last season when these two went head-to-head here. The last time they did it at Hampden. We're approaching the final quarter of the second semi. Celtic, as it stands, going through to the final to face St Mirren. A big switch of play out towards Sarachi for Celtic, right to left. Sarachi now attacking third. He's into the box, unchallenged, plays it across and over the bar from Nygren. He misses some amount of chances, Benjamin Nygren. That's another for the collection. Over the bar it goes from 6 yards out, and it stays Celtic 1, Rangers 0.
Yeah, a little bit of just technique missing. The ball comes to him very, very quickly in the box. You've got to say, I'm not sure he's just got to get a better technique on it, just to divert it onto target. He just let it hit his foot more than anything else.
Concentrate, keep him down a bit like Chamiti. Just go over it, bundle it, anything, get it on target.
He misses loads of chances, but he's in the right position all the time, isn't he?
Keeps making those runs, that's why he gets the goals he gets. Start worrying when he stops.
Here come Rangers. Chermiti to Tavernier, pulls it back, gives it straight back to Celtic, but in turn Arne Engels gift wraps in possession back. Tavernier finds Raskan into the box. Chermiti on the turn, can't get there. Gassama chasing, Schmeichel's there and gathers it eventually with 22 of the 90 to play. Celtic 1, 10-man Rangers 0. What I would say is it hasn't felt like 11 against 10 in the second half.
That's a fair point. I think it's a fair point. I think that's what I was saying about the game, just being a bit scrappy, shooting Rangers. Celtic just for a bit, I think it was about a 5-minute period just a wee while ago that they sort of kept the ball a little bit better, but they haven't been able to do that in the second half, which is probably disappointing.
That's it, Pat. I mean, if you keep the ball better, it'll be so much easier on them, but I think you've got to give credit to Rangers. They have worked ever so hard out of possession.
Trusty square ball to Scales. To Sarachi on the left. In field it comes to McGregor across the halfway line, works it back to Sarachi. He's driving forward, played by Sarachi. Out to the left for Maida, back to the Uruguayan, pulls it back, chance here for James Forrest off the crossbar. Butland can't get there, it's still alive. Forrest has another chance and he lashes it high over the bar. The width of the crossbar denies League Cup legend James Forrest from adding to his Celtic story. Yeah. It stays Celtic 1, Rangers 0.
Yeah, just again, composure in the middle of the pitch from McGregor, just building the game, and then suddenly Sarachi bombs forward down that left-hand side, links in with Maida, and then that ball's cut back, and there was James Forrest coming in off the right, as we know he does, and he used to do it very regularly when he was in the team, and he hits it with pace. I don't know whether the goalkeeper got it. Did he get a touch on the first one? But the pace just comes off the cross, but nearly comes in back off Butland into the back of the net.
That classic Martin O'Neill there, when he's a bit frustrated, he starts rubbing his head. He's been doing that quite a lot this afternoon. Celtic spurning opportunities. Hatate and McCowan will be on for them. Miovski and Moore will be on for Rangers shortly. I will go to James McFadden, who's watching the match with us this afternoon, just when I get a chance, as the obstruction from Ralston on Gassama, with not even a foul, let alone anything else from a Rangers point of view. A Celtic clear. James McFadden, it's been breathless out there.
It sure has. I mean, for different reasons. In the first half, Celtic with that speed of play in the first half, Rangers have made it really competitive, and you have to give them credit. No, a man down, but as you mentioned earlier, it doesn't look like it. That they've managed to stick in. They've looked a threat from set plays. Celtic have had the chances to extend their lead and potentially put this game to bed, but they just haven't been able to find the back of the net.
Right, Benjamin Nygren's going to come off as Celtic make the changes. Hatate is coming on. Another player coming off is Kenny, and it's not McCowan, it's Callum Osmond, who made his debut the other night. Martin O'Neill and Sean Maloney clearly see something in him that Brendan Rodgers didn't, even though he came in under his watch. The Rangers changes. Chermiti off, Miovski on, Diamonde off, Moore on.
Yeah, I just wonder whether I don't see, is he going to play through the middle, Osmond?
Yes, he will. Well, he certainly did the other night. Maida came off the bench as well against Falkirk. So Callum Osmond, who arrived from Fulham, who had a fabulous goal-scoring record for their young teams. It was more than a goal every other game, actually. As Celtic win the throw-in on this near side. So 71.5 on the clock. Celtic 1, 10-man Rangers 0. Celtic went in front through Johnny Kenny's header on 25 minutes. Taylor Asgard sent off in the wake of that. As Celtic win a free kick, and Raskan's going to be booked. Another yellow card. Some amount of paperwork Nick Walsh is going to have in his hands tonight.
And you know, the talking point they'll all be talking about is whether it's a sending off, and there are two talking points, and whether Trusty should have stayed on the pitch. Apart from that paperwork, Celtic, I can understand why they made a couple of changes. I've been impressed with Kenny. I think he's been unbelievable. Even with the chance to come off the crossbar, he was first there. He bumped Cornelius out the way. He rolled it back to Forrest. He has been sensational, his movement. So I bet the Rangers defence are glad to see the back of him.
So Celtic in possession here. Scales just to his right for Trusty, and then forward to Ralston, and now it's with Engels. Hatate making a run ahead of him, plays it forward looking for Osman, but he is back to where the ball was going, and straight to Giga. Now it's with Moore, flicks it with the outside of the boot for Raskan, and it comes off him last after Trusty's challenge, and out for a Celtic throw-in on this near side.
Yeah, Trusty's come back into the team. Obviously, he was injured for a long time. I think he's settled in quite well. I thought he might have been struggling a little bit with pace and with being up to the speed of the game, but I think he's done okay.
It was a kind of surprise he didn't start at Tynecastle a week ago, Pat. Ralston switches it out to the left. Great ball by Ralston, and Spencer Sarati bombing forward with little back heel for Maida, who I don't think was expecting it, but he's on it anyway, and plays it back to McGregor, then left to right of the centre circle for Trusty, out to the right touchline. Ralston gives it to Forrest. Forrest then, the outside of the right boot, goes back to Austin Trusty. Forrest denied by the bar to score in a 17th successive season in the Celtic first team. Here's Hatate. Hatate, left centre, midway inside the Rangers half, finds Ralston, looks up at the goal, turns it to the right for Forrest, level with the penalty spot, and a first-time effort from Hatate, which Butland didn't hold on to first time. He's on to it now. 16 minutes left of normal time. Celtic 1, Rangers 0.
Much better though from Celtic there, just keeping the ball, passing it, finding the spaces, exploiting the spaces, and just working the ball from side to side, and then a chance at the end of it.
Flick on there by Bojan Mijovski, who does have League Cup semi-final experience of going through in a team that has 10 men, and done so with Aberdeen when they beat Hibs 2 seasons ago. As Ralston slips it through to Osmond, right hand side of the Rangers box, passes it back to Forrest, and then back to McGregor. I just kind of feel that in the last 5 minutes, maybe even 10 minutes, Celtic have got control of this.
Yeah, McGregor's starting to dictate.
There's a good ball in from the left from Sarati, just bounces away from Osman and back through to Butland. Sorry, Packer.
Yeah, just McGregor's starting to dictate how and when to settle the game down, and that's critical from a leader and a captain, just because it was too frantic for a while.
Definitely getting a bit of control. Yeah, you're right. We're with you, but if you don't get a second goal and get to 5 minutes, Rangers are going to throw men forward. Celtic would love a second goal just now, but at least they are showing a bit more composure.
This isn't the best scenario Rangers could have found themselves in, because they could have found an equaliser and what have you, but when the red card happened, they were 1-0 down. Danny Rule, you would imagine, would have taken going into the final 15 minutes still in the game, and there's one over the top. Gassama's in! Oh, what a brilliant recovery challenge by Scales, who slides in and puts it behind for the corner. It's outstanding defending by Liam Scales. Gassama was in the act of pulling the trigger, and Scales slams the door in his face at the expense only of a Rangers corner. It stays 1-0 to the holders.
That's a chance. You've got to get a shot away. I mean, it's bouncing, just get it out your feet with the touch and then let the shot go. But he's kind of delayed on it, not a natural striker. Brilliant ball from Mikey Muir.
Packy will focus on the defending, I would have thought.
Yeah. Don't know what's going on here now. Oh, there's somebody down.
Celtic players down with cramp.
Yeah, it was a brilliant ball. I've got to play over the top, but it was very difficult for Scales because he was on his shoulder. Difficult to match that run, but what an effort to get back in and put a sliding tackle in. You know, you're saying that should he have got it away earlier? Yes, you're looking to it, but he had to get the ball under. But it was his first touch. If he got that under control a wee bit quicker, you know, to get it down and get a shot away, but the ball was kind of running away from him, just allowed Scales that quarter of a second. You can see here outside his foot, ball's just running away from him. Scales just got the nick on it just as he was about to knock in the back of the net.
He's a flying machine, Gassama. I mean, just get a touch and get a shot away. He's just not a natural striker, and you can see that because you've got to get some effort and goal there. Even though Gassama's quick and Scales showed a good turn the pace, you need an effort with that quality through ball.
Marcelo Sarachi's going to be withdrawn, replaced by the experience of Kieran Tierney. As Tierney makes his way on, return to the club to help them to more successes. They could be one step away from it in about 12 and a half minutes plus stoppages. They lead 1-0, but it's a Rangers corner, and it comes, and it's towards the 6-yard line. It's missed by everyone, and it breaks out to Forrest on this near side. Forrest knocks it up the line to Osmond. Osmond fancies his chances with his pace against Makoma, who reacts well and gets it back to Butland. Here's the left foot.
One thing, Makoma is a flying machine. Young, sometimes caught out of position, yeah, but really quick.
It's out for a throw into Rangers on this near side. Gassama takes it quickly, bowling it back to Makoma. Then to Cornelius. Level the edge of the centre circle in his own half forward to Moore inside the Celtic half, forced back into it by Engels. And now it's with Suter. Suter eyes up the pitch ahead of him. It's a long drifting right foot ball which is headed away by Ralston. Raskan jumps up with Trusty. Loose ball. McGregor's onto it. It's only half away. Miovski lays it back to Raskan. Now it's Tavernier. Now it's Gassama. He's at the edge of the box. Shoots. Blocked. Screaming for handball. Nick Walsh is a long, hard look at it. And he's given the penalty to Rangers. Rangers have a penalty for handball. And what a chance the 10 men have to wipe out the Celtic advantage, which they've had since the 25th minute. It's a handball by Ralston, who was on the deck blocking the shot from Gassama. And Rangers have an almighty chance to come off the floor here.
Yeah, it's so sharp from Gassama. He shifts it, takes out Trusty. Ralston's fallen. It's a definite penalty. I mean, he's on the way down, uses his elbow and anything to keep it out. I don't think this one will be overturned.
No, I don't think so either. I think his arm is towards the ball, hits him on the elbow. Big chance for Rangers to get back into it. They worked hard in the second half. We talked about this period when Celtic were back in control of the game, and then again just the changes.
They're checking it. I mean, Anthony Ralston's already on a booking. The penalty stands. No second yellow for Ralston. Certainly not a deliberate handball. But what he's presented is a huge chance for Rangers here. Approaching the final 10 minutes, and James Tavernier has the ball in his hand.
I can understand why they're asking him to be sent off a booking, because he throws himself and his elbow's there and he uses it. And the Rangers players, especially Raskin, they're all over the ref, but he's not having any, just a penalty given.
So many times in the past in his long Rangers career, James Tavernier has saved them when they've been in a hole, and they're in a hole here. Down to 10 men, trailing the holders 1-0. 80 minutes on the clock. Right-footed penalty from James Tavernier against Kasper Schmeichel. Here he goes, the Rangers captain scores! Brilliant from Tavernier. Right-footed, bottom left, away from the grasp of the Dane. And the 10 men have come off the canvas to level the semi-final. It is Celtic
vacant, and you need your captain to stand up and under the pressure just dispatch it, and he goes that way a lot. He just whips it, runs up, whips it, and Schmeichel goes the right way, but the power beats him.
Well, there you go. You just felt, given it was just the one goal of a lead, that it wasn't done, Billy, and so it's proven to be. Yeah, it's bedlam going on behind us. The Rangers supporters behind us here, and you just sensed, just one goal behind, that Rangers always had an opportunity here to force the issue, and
what did we say all along? Celtic have been scrappy the second half, not keeping the balls well. They had a 10-minute spell where they kept it really well, but I also said if they don't get that second goal, they're going to feel the pressure. And Rangers, Gassama with the pace, we said that at half time, I mean, and manufactures the space to get a shot. And you could say that, you know, it's definite penalty, but they're wanting Ralston sent off as well, because he didn't have to throw himself at it, he didn't have to elbow it. Some people say it's intentional, but if you don't throw yourself, then you have no chance of elbowing it. But anyway, they get the penalty, they get the leveller, and Celtic still have 11 on the park.
Yeah, and they deserve it, Rangers, in the second half, because they go down 10 men. Celtic could have controlled the game much better for a longer period, and they haven't, and it got very, very scrappy. Allowed Rangers to get back into it and give them confidence to say that they can still get something out of this game.
And just a reminder that VAR cannot intervene with second yellow cards. They could have had they would have had a look at the trusty one in the first half as Moore comes forward for Rangers, and now he's found Miovski, left-hand side of the Celtic box. Rangers looking to turn this semi-final on its head. Miovski, and then McHoma's ball across, cut out by Scales, and suddenly it's the holders on the rack here. Rangers have a corner.
They look like the team with 11. Every second ball, everything dropping to them. They're putting crosses in, they force another corner, crowd getting right behind them. Celtic are wobbling a little bit. I'll tell you what, Celtic, the way it's going just now, will take extra time.
Tavernier will take the corner on this near side. It's been night and day from the last meeting between these two. That snore fest at Ibrox at the end of August. Rangers have a corner. Tavernier right-footed, and it comes into the 6-yard box, headed away by Hatate. Helped on its way by Osman. Back in by Moore. It's poor though, straight through to Schmeichel, who's going to fire it forward to Kieran Tierney on his left. Tierney in field to Scales, approaching 84 minutes. Is this heading for extra time, or is there to be late drama? 1-1, long ball forward by Ralston, headed away by Giga, picked up by McGregor, who's been quiet in the second half, and he's given it away. Callum McGregor's enjoying himself. Celtic tend to be enjoying themselves, but it's Rangers enjoying themselves at the moment with Mikey Moore driving forward, turns back facing his own goal and leaves it for Raskan on this left-hand side. Knocks it into the centre circle for Suter, who turns it to his right for Nasser Giga. And a step away from Osmond, who does well to get between the man and the ball and draws the foul, wins the free kick for Celtic over on the far side. Celtic could do with some calm. The problem is, it's this fixture, there's very seldom moments of calm. Sean Maloney's joined Martin O'Neill at the edge of his technical area. Danny Rule to their left. Here's Forrest into Engels, back to Forrest, gets the nutmeg on Raskan. He's managed to pop it through to Osmond. Chance for Celtic. Butland saves, and it's bundled behind for the corner by Giga. To make a real name for himself. It stays 1-1, corner only, 5 to play of the 90.
Oh, he's got to score, Great play by James Forrest, cutting in a beautiful pass into his one touch, and he's just shown where he was going to put it almost to the goalkeeper, and that just opens up the goal. And he doesn't make good contact with the ball, doesn't really. He's got to lift that over the goalkeeper.
He's got to get a good contact. Brilliant from Forrest, little nutmeg in there, slide rule pass.
The headlines were there for the young man Callum Osmond. We've adorned the back pages tomorrow. Corner only, in from Engels. The header comes off a Celtic head, but goes the wrong way. It's Osmond again, and it's broken to Ralston, wide on the right-hand touchline. Level with 18, he goes. Ralston against Tavernier, gets his cross in, breaks out to Engels, heads it back across and over his own bar by Bojan Miovski. Celtic have another corner as the seconds tick away in the semi-final.
It's been an incredible game, isn't it, in many ways. But scrappy, we talked about it in a second, but that lent itself also to
still exciting, yeah.
Exciting, as you indicated, Billy. Yeah, really end-to-end stuff.
86 played. Celtic corner, one apiece. Engels with it, deep to the back post where there was nobody in a green and white hook shirt. They'd all gone to the middle or the near post. Goal kick Rangers, 1-1.
Yeah, that's poor. You know, like he put the ball into a great area for the goal. He overhits that one. That's twice now. It's kind of been overhit to the back post. Just get it in there, into that area, and make defenders having to deal with it.
James McFadden looks like he's enjoying his afternoon to my left.
Sure am. What a game it's been. It's had everything. Rangers have done really well to dig in. I think you have to give credit to Danny Rowell, the manager, because he makes a change at half-time. He puts James Tavernier into midfield. Then he brings in Mikey Moore into midfield. So Rangers are playing with a midfield three of Raskin, Tavernier and Mikey Moore. So they are going for it. They've stuck in there. They've made it scrappy. And they've obviously managed to get themselves level.
Schmeichel almost made a meal of it at the back there. He's done well to bundle it out to Ralston, but he's had it nicked off him by Raskin. Nikola Raskin on the near side, the two around him, and Forrest emerges with it, and Forrest slides it through for Osman. Suter trying to stay with him. Osman right hand side, Suter slides in, committing himself, doesn't win the challenge as well as he would have done. Down goes Osman, right hand side of the box, clear by Meghoma. Osman with his arms outstretched, sitting on the deck, looks at the assistant. No penalty, and it's cleared by Rangers. 2.5 of the 90 to play.
Goma does brilliantly, doesn't he? Because Suter's trouble. This little guy Osmond is a flying machine, and Suter goes to ground desperately, and then the shove comes in, maybe just does enough, takes the ball, but really working hard for one another. I mean, he could have just left Suter 1-on-1 there, feeling tired late on in the game, but he doesn't. Meghoma, he gets himself back, shows great energy.
Kieran Tierney for Celtic on the far side, blocked by Tavernier, out for a Celtic throw-in, level with the edge of the centre circle in the Rangers half. Bowled back by Tierney to Scales. Quintelo Asgard was sent off with Celtic leading 1-0. He would not have had many. You would have thought that this would still be in the melting pot come this time, as Forrest crosses in from the right and evades Cornelius. Osman can't get enough onto it, but he has put enough pressure on the Rangers defenders to concede the corner.
Great ball by Forrest there. Just exactly what Martin Neal would be wanting. Just get your head going, take the defender on, and just whip that ball into that area and let defenders defend and see if you can get somebody, a Celtic player, on that first contact.
To think this time last week Martin O'Neill's probably sitting down a nice Sunday roast in peace. In comes the corner, comes off a couple of players, and the Celtic fans want a penalty for handball there. I'm not sure who and what it bounced off, but anyway, Celtic come again. Hatate for Engels, but the ref for some reason is having a look. Stop play. Just wondering, yeah, they're going to have a look at a possible penalty here, but it's a very quick check by Stephen McLean. It's game on. Teasing the Celtic support into thinking they might be getting a penalty there. But in the 90th minute, Tierney swings a cross in. It's headed away by Cornelius, more height than distance, going to drop round about the penalty spot. Hatate looking to touch it back to McGregor. Gassama gets onto it first for Rangers though. McGregor wins it back and Hatate stabs it looking for Maida, and it's cleared by Suter. It is frenetic.
Football, pinball.
It summed up the game in many ways. Frantic and frenetic and all the words you want to choose, Billy.
Yeah, it's been some spectacle.
It's just the walking pace. In the moment, you're getting another half hour of it. Ralston out to Forrest on this near side, and infield to Ralston, who finds McGregor. Feeds it with the left to Scales. Rangers have everyone back. 4 minutes have been added on. We're into the first of it. Tierney across, blocked, and Rangers clear through Raskin. Celtic with the late pressure here as they try and win it in normal time.
Osman just misses it. Once it goes wide to Tierney, he just blasts it, and Osman just tries to back flick it into the net and misses the contact. What a chance, they won it.
Scales out to Tierney, wide the left hand side, attacking the left angle of the box. Tierney in his right foot clips the ball in. It's cleared by Meghoma, only as far as Ralston. Delicate ball forward, looking for Engels, headed away by Rangers through Gassama. Celtic have it with Forrest on this near side, level with the Rangers penalty spot. Low ball back to McGregor, the right angle, back out it comes to Engels, takes a touch, swings the right foot cross ball in towards the back post. It's flicked away by his compatriot Raskan. Tierney sweeps it back down the line for Scales. Rangers just try to see this through to extra time by the look of it. Celtic with all the pressure in stoppage time. 1 of the 4 minutes has come and gone. Celtic 1, 10-man Rangers 1. Will Rangers wilt at the end here? And Celtic make this pay, this pressure, and it comes headed behind for the corner by Cornelius from Liam Scales' cross.
Yeah, as that there's unbelievable pressure. Taking a short though.
Quickly taken by Tierney to Engels, back to Tierney, now with McGregor, level with the edge of the D of the Rangers box, finds Tierney to his left, low ball across, is cut out. Rangers just trying to keep Celtic at arm's length here. It's Giga this time. Tierney to Hatate, still firing at this attacking third Celtic. It's Tierney, short ball to Engels, back to McGregor, and he squares it to Scales. Scales short to Hatate, he's in a bit of space here. Hatate chips it, right hand side of the box, Forrest, first time back, chance over the bar from Hatate. Martin O'Neill crouches down in frustration, and it stays Celtic 1, Rangers 1, with 2 minutes of stoppage time left at the end of the semi-final. 1-1.
Oh, he's got hit the target from that position.
I'm sure he skiffed the ball there. I'm sure he's clipped it.
Oh my word, just got to get over the ball. It comes onto him on a plate about 8 yards out, and he just hits it. You would expect him with his technique to be able to hit that on the target from that distance, Billy.
Absolutely. I mean, I thought again, just hit target and you have a chance of a goal, but again he just leans back at the vital moment, and the ball, I'm sure it gets a little skiff on the bar, but misses the target, Hatate, and the chance is gone for a glorious winner for Celtic.
Jayden McGoma comes off and is replaced by Max Aarons. Just over a minute left. 1-1. Scales wins the header, nods it forward. Suter heads it back towards the halfway line. Forrest Spall's going straight to Mikey Moore. Goal now wins it. You score now, you're in the final of the League Cup. It's Moore down the right hand side. 3 Celtic shirts around them, and eventually they win it back. And it's Tierney back to Scales. It's looking like extra time, but you never know as Gassama charges down an attempted pass forward by Trusty, but it breaks back to Schmeichel. Now it's Ralston who wins the free kick off Raskan. That's an absolute result for Danny Rule, this. It's looking like extra time. We're at 1-0 down, and having lost a man when Telo Asgard was sent off, the fact that they are managing to take this to extra time is pretty remarkable in itself. As Celtic come forward, there's still time for a winner though. Before that, Tierney on the left gets the cross in, it's too high for Osman, flicked away by Cornelius. Might be a little bit on top of this because of the Rangers change that was made. Ralston lets it go out for a Celtic throw-in, bowls it back to McGregor. We've played the 4 minutes. Hatate out to Ralston, takes a touch, right foot cross comes in. Has he got the quality? He's found Kieran Tierney, shoots, it's deflected, goes behind, but that's it, no corner. The final whistle goes, and this semi-final's going to an extra 30 minutes, and you wouldn't have had too many people betting on that outcome when Johnny Kenny put Celtic in front and Telo Asgard was sent off in an action-packed first half. The second had plenty about it as well. Rangers fighting back there, the wounded animal down to 10 men, forcing extra time after a Ralston handball in the box. Tavernier dispatched the penalty on 80 minutes to give Rangers a chance, an unlikely one at that, to go fourth to the League Cup final. The holders dragged back into a battle they've become embroiled in against all the odds. After 90 plus minutes with extra time to come, it finishes Celtic 1, 10-man Rangers 1.
The Scottish League Cup.
Live on Sports Sound.
Scottish football lives here.
On BBC Radio Scotland.
Modern life is full of wee annoying things, like posh shoppers.
Locate the poshest looking woman in there, right? And say this, excuse me, do you work here? She will lose her mind.
That's where Breaking the News comes in. We're here to help you make sense of the world we live in, making you feel super.
This summer, he's back. It's Ur Wooly.
Breaking the News, Friday from 1:30 on BBC Radio Scotland and Sounds.
This is Sportsound live here from the National Stadium with me, Richard Gordon. If you'd said beforehand, right at the start of the game, this could be going to extra time, could potentially be going to penalties, I don't think anyone would have been surprised, but they might well have been when they saw the events of the first 45, dominated by Celtic, who were ahead, and Rangers down to 10 men. But my goodness, it changed for much of that second half. Rangers getting back on level terms and withstanding the late pressure from Celtic. James, I think you're rather pleased to have another 30 minutes of this to enjoy, aren't you?
Absolutely. 30 minutes I don't need to talk for, Richard. That's the big bonus. But no, look, it's been a brilliant game, very entertaining, loads of incidents, loads to talk about, loads of chances, loads of energy, something that was sadly lacking in the last time they met. But, you know, Rangers deserve huge credit for managing to stay in the game, managing to get themselves level, and frustrate Celtic at times. Celtic have had some chances this second half and just haven't been able to put Rangers away.
They didn't create too many chances, Rangers. They were down to 10 men, but they were certainly better. They did create that one glaring opportunity, the penalty. Should Anthony Ralston have got a second yellow for that?
I'm surprised they didn't, to be honest with you. I mean, the shot's goal bound as well. Whether it's accidental or not, I think we usually see a yellow card for those. Yeah. So yeah, I have to say, very surprised. And it was some save, I have to say, for Anthony Ralston. He does well to get down to his right hand side and stop that digging in.
Well, remember, Rangers still have that disadvantage. They're down to 10. All sorts of substitutions have been made. There will be more to come, I'm sure. In fact, it looks like Nico Raskan is coming off, going by the reaction that I see down in the technical area there. The referee back out, the ball back in the centre circle. We will get some more words from James McFadden, but let's get back to our commentary team of Billy, Pats and Liam.
Might just bring him in a bit more often after that admission from Faddy. Anyway, that change sees Oliver Antman come on for Rangers for the start of extra time as Nicola Raskan comes off. And we'll wait to see if Celtic can get into a period of domination in extra time. And remember, the last season's final went to an extra 30 minutes and eventually was settled by penalties. Since Callum McGregor and James Tavernier, the two captains, have done battle so often in this fixture over the years. Go to the referee and the coin toss there ahead of extra time. This is James Tavernier's 44th match against Celtic. He's lost 24 of them. James Forrest playing in his 34th, Callum McGregor in his 45th. They are the veterans of this fixture. As Celtic prepare to kick off the first period of extra time, shooting in the green and white hoops from right to left towards Mount Florida. Rangers in the blue and white towards Torrey Glen. Will it be as action-filled as the 90-plus minutes? Celtic kick off, Engels rolling it back to McGregor, and out it comes to Hatate on this near side. I'm just looking to see where Oliver Antman's picking up his position in this first period of extra time, just to the right of what is essentially a kind of middle three. Gisama supporting Miovski, Chiga, Suter, Cornelius, Aarons and Butland the goalkeeper. Celtic, Schmeichel in goal, Trusty Scales the centre-backs. Tierney has just slipped there, can't get onto it, was behind for the goal kick on the left, Ralston on the right with Hatate, McGregor and Engels. And then you've got Forrest and Maid up there with Osmond. So Antman on for Raskan. Did you think Raskan's horse had bolted?
I'm not sure if he's got a bit of cramp, maybe had to take it. He's such an important player. I'm thinking that, but if you'd have told me also that the Rangers midfield to finish would be a three of James Tavernier in the central position, Antman on the right and Mikey Moore on the left, I thought you were going off your head, but that's the way it is just now. A bit of pace in there as well to get forward.
Here come Rangers then. Ant-Man's kept it in play. Infield to Tavernier. Just about midway inside the Celtic half, back into the centre circle for Cornelius. Then out to that left-hand side for Aarons. And back for Moore. And then into his own half for Cornelius. It'll be the annoying thing for Martin O'Neill will be the fact that there is an extra time period, but I don't think he could make an argument to say Rangers don't deserve to have taken this to an extra 30.
No, I agree with you. And I think it was a brilliant decision, actually. I know James Tavernier doesn't play too often in the middle of the pitch, but he's gone in there and he's just helped with his experience and communication that the players around about him. Celtic just kind of struggled to get a match of that in the middle of the field. Hatate's on. He should be the one that's getting on the ball all the time, and he should be running them ragged. Give that extra player in that position.
After giving so much in the 90 plus minutes, both sets of players out there, how difficult is it to try and recreate that in extra time? The extra time here in the final last season was dreadful.
Yeah. Celtic finished strong though. I think they realised they don't want it to go to penalties. You would fancy Rangers to go on and win it with Butland's penalty saving record, so I think Rangers would take penalties, but they're still in the game in terms of being a danger as well, and still playing in the front foot, playing that 4-3-2.
Scales out to Tierney. Celtic attacking here, level with the edge of the D of the Rangers box. Infield to Hatate. Hatate, a little bit ponderous from Hatate. He's not had a great season so far, but he eventually finds Tierney. Back to McGregor, and then with Tierney, looks up, left foot ball, it's a good one, and headed away by Moore. Osman was waiting at the back post there. Breaks Ralston's way, right hand side of the area. Against Aarons, turns it back to Trusty. Infield to McGregor, encouraged to shoot. He does! Oh, what a goal! What a goal from the Celtic captain! That is an absolute classic from Callum McGregor, who's just sent a rocket past Jack Butland to restore the holders' advantage early in extra time here. Sometimes you just do not have an answer to that kind of quality. And Callum McGregor, with a Hampden belter, makes it Celtic 2, Rangers 1.
Yeah, power, pace, accuracy. Goalkeeper sticks up his hands, but has almost passed him before he could react. Ball's just laid into his path. One touch. It's not that far in the corner, but it's the pace and the power and the accuracy that really, it's a brilliant strike. I'm just wondering whether, did it move a little bit? Did it take a deflection?
Yeah, I think Butland's got a touch onto it as well, hasn't he?
I'm going to be honest, I think on a regular day he should save it.
Yeah,
it's an unbelievable strike. It's in the middle of the goals though. Take nothing away, the strike is sensational. He's caught it sweet as a nut. There is a bit of movement. He gets a glove on it. He says he sees it coming through, but he can't see it because it's coming through bodies. For me, he sees it all the way. It's just the movement is beating him, and I think he should be saving that one, Jack Butland.
Yeah, it wasn't that way. It wasn't right in the corner. Normally we see Callum McGregor bending it around the goalkeeper, but he's gone for power and pace, and he certainly got that. But it's in that area where you expect the goalkeeper to get at least one hand to it and touch it over.
Just his second goal of the season. His first came at Tynecastle last week. Callum McGregor, just when Celtic needed him, just when Rangers needed their captain, the Celtic one steps up, and Rangers have to somehow come from behind again here. It is Mikey Moore with a long ball. Miovski will chase it. He's goal side of the defender, but it comes right through to Schmeichel, having managed to free himself of his old Aberdeen teammate Scales. And it breaks to McGregor, and now it's Ralston. And Martin O'Neill will be standing down there. Neil just have wished that came 5 minutes of football before, which would have seen Celtic win this in normal time. And it's just a moment of class. It's the sheer power from McGregor that's beaten Butland. And Scales knocks it back to Kasper Schmeichel. Then to Scales. Forward it comes to Hatate. On the turn, manages to feed it with the right foot out to the right-hand side for Ralston. And of course, as the seconds go by, the bigger the pitch will seem to these Rangers players, given their covering for being a man down. McGregor rolls it back out to Engels on the far side on the north stand side of Hampden. It's back to McGregor, and then back into his own half for Trusty. Up to the halfway line, rolls it to his left for Scales, who goes back to Austin Trusty. Right foot ball there to Ralston. And then forward to Engels, and then in field to McGregor, then back to Ralston, and then Trusty midway inside his own half. Finds Scales, rolls it with the left foot out to Tierney on this left hand side. Tierney looks up at the box, gets the cross ball in. Osman's header, great save Butland. That's going in, and that's probably sealing Celtic's place in the final. But for Jack Butland, who keeps him out diving to his right. Corner only. Celtic 2, Rangers 1. We've played 6.5 extra time.
Yeah, he makes up for maybe thinking that he might have got a hand to the goal, but certainly that was a really good save. It was a perfect ball in, header back across him, bouncing header, and he just took one step, big stretch, dive right angles to the ball and touches it round the post.
It's a brilliant stop, as much as he should have saved Celtic's second goal. I mean, that keeps Rangers in it because it's just a fingertip, no more, to get it round the post after the header from Osman. It's a really good directional header as well, try to get in at that far post.
Corner for Celtic, Engels with it, the header down wide this time from Osmond, who's actually had a few opportunities in the game since coming on. So 7 minutes into extra time, 2-1 to Celtic. James McFadden, I mean, yeah, perhaps Butland, I'm taking your take on should Butland have saved it, but it's an unbelievable strike, isn't it, from McGregor? Hold on, try again.
It's a clean strike from Callum McGregor, excellent, it's moving, but it's right down the middle. I think Jack Butland should be saving it. He'll be disappointed he hasn't. He's come up with a brilliant save there from Callum Osman, the header. But, you know, Callum McGregor stepping up when it matters. We spoke about it before the game. It's a day for heroes, and he's certainly taking responsibility in that one.
Yeah, Rangers have it with Moore down the left-hand side. Now it's with Gassama. Gassama battling for it, and he still has it. Despite the pressure he's under, he plays it short to Tavernier in the central position, and out to the left. Moore gives it to Aarons. Aarons back to Moore. Rangers trying to find a second equaliser. 7 minutes left of the first period of extra time. Suter square ball to this near side for Giga. Finds Ant-Man, who goes back to Suter inside his own half. Now it's with Cornelius, left of the centre circle. Rolls it out to the left for Aarons. Now back with Cornelius. Square ball to Suter. Rangers having to go to the well again here, Billy, to try and salvage this semi-final. They've done it once, can they do it a second time?
Getting a bit of possession. Celtic don't get a third, and you think Rangers can take it to like 5-10 minutes to go in extra time. The feeling will be the same from Celtic. We've not killed this off, and Rangers will get the feeling, just let's get a goal, let's get it to penalties, and they'll throw bodies forward. So you would think Celtic need a third because Rangers still going at it.
Celtic throwing over on the far side. Ralston to take. Midway inside Celtic territory. Bowls it up the line. Looking for Osman, who goes down. The challenge by Cornelius. No foul. Moore knees it forward to Miovski, looking to slip it in behind. Gassama's in. Gassama's in. Schmeichel saves. Well, it's another opportunity for profligate Rangers, and this time Kasper Schmeichel denies Gassama, who was slipped in beautifully. It stays Celtic 2, Rangers 1.
Oh, incredible, incredible. What a good, great, brilliant chance for Rangers. A lovely ball played through behind Trusty. He uses his strength, but Schmeichel comes out, sticks out that big left leg, and again, probably maybe should have just tried to get a little bit of height into it as the goalkeeper goes to ground. But you've got to give the save a little bit of credit there.
Yeah, in comes the long throw and headed away by Scales, only as far as Moore. Split level with the penalty spot, looking for Ant-Man. Hatate gets between the man and the ball and does enough to hold him off, then clears with the right foot. I'll give Rangers encouragement. They can score again though, doesn't it?
Yeah, we'll talk about it. As long as it goes and Rangers still going at it, they'll get a chance.
The header won by Suter into the Celtic box. Scales tries to get it clear. Hatate does. Giga can't control it. Now he's facing his own goal. Osman for company. Giga turns it back the way to Butland, and now it's with Tavernier. To Giga, he's near side. It's back to Butland. The groans from the Rangers fans.
He's got a bit of cramp. Hamstring feeling. Yeah, he's feeling both hamstrings.
Long ball forward, Butland. Suter with the header. Cornelius this time. Chance here for Rangers. Miovski trying to get there. Schmeichel times his challenge beautifully there. As he flopped down, had to be so careful because any split second either side of the ball arriving at him, he's bringing Miovski down, and it's a penalty.
Yeah, he just stood up long enough and he just delayed and delayed. I just see him stretching that shoulder of his. I don't know whether that's the one that he's injured. But certainly people down getting trampled at this moment in time as the game has gone in here. The intensity has been unbelievable. Just when you think Celtic are going to control this game, keep it nice and simple, keep the ball, use the extra player, they'll lose control and Rangers come back into it fighting. Big chances for them.
Joe Rothwell comes on to replace Nasser Jigat.
Tavernier will go back to right back probably.
Spotted the fact they'd run his race a moment ago. Rangers have it. It's a long ball. Moore looking for Suter, right hand side of the box. Tierney wins it ahead of his Scotland teammate, and it's behind for a Rangers corner. Rangers still in the game here, quite clearly.
That's some game, I mean, some stuff going on out there on the pitch. And Rangers having 2 fabulous chances again there, so still not out of it. Get the corner here. A long way to go in this one.
Stephen Robinson sitting at home with his feet up. The St Mirren manager having guided his team past Motherwell here yesterday. An obliteration in the end, 4-1. The final coming up Sunday the 14th of December. We'll be here before the St Mirren fans know it. At the moment it will be Celtic they'll play, but here come Rangers with the corner. In it comes. Cornelius leaps, it bounces in the 6-yard box, cleared by Tierney. Only as far as Ant-Man, he picks up left-hand side of the Celtic box, facing Forrest. He's managed to get the cross in. Suter was there, doesn't leap quickly enough, and Celtic head clear out to this near side. Rangers throw in, level with the Celtic penalty spot on the Rangers right this time.
Yeah, this is getting hurled from Tavernier. Just route one direct. Suter in that front area for the flick-ons.
In from James Tavernier, bowls it towards the 6-yard line. Scales leaps, he heads towards his own goal, but he is grateful to see Kasper Schmeichel come to the left of his goal frame to claim. 2 minutes left in the first period of extra time here in the second semi-final. Celtic 2, 10-man Rangers 1.
Yeah, I was just looking at it. He was delaying Schmeichel. I'm thinking, don't give away a free kick here with that 8-second rule, but the referee probably was counting him down.
He's
took it to the limit.
Back, he is definitely struggling with that shoulder again. Rangers doing some defending this time. Engels pulling it across. Chance here. Osman on the turn, 6 yards from goals. Saved by Butland, and Maida on the follow-up can't finish. And Rangers come away with it. Callum Osman with another opportunity to put surely the semi-final beyond Rangers. It stays 2-1 Celtic.
Oh my God.
Well by Maida. And again the Rangers supporters irate because they think he should have been booked in the first half. He's been booked since then. That's probably his 6th foul in the match, including a cynical one which went unchallenged as Aaron strides forward for Rangers up the other end, gets his cross in, looking for Miovski, too high for him. Tierney heads it away. Hatate completes the clearance. Maida finds Osman, who's wrestled to the ground by Suter. He's going to go into the book here. John Suter, yellow card for the Rangers number 5. Osman had spun him and he was away. He was inside the Celtic half when that happened, so it spared him worse punishment than the yellow as he dragged his arm across, clotheslined Osmond, and it is Celtic 2, 10-man Rangers 1 as we go into the final 30 seconds of the first period of extra time.
I'll tell you, I like Osmond who's come on. Who does he remind you of? Scott McDonald type player?
Yeah, he's quicker than Scott McDonald.
And he does have that kind of
stature.
Yeah, stature and same movement.
I'll tell you what, he did well there. I mean, it's a really good foul, and he's in Celtic's half, drags him to the ground because he was gone.
Here's Tierney down the left for Celtic. 1 minute being added on at the end of the first half of extra time as Ant-Man clears out for a Celtic throw-in. Celtic getting ever closer to yet another League Cup final. As Kieran Tierney will take the throw-in, level with the Rangers penalty spot on this near side. To Hatate, back to Tierney, infield to Osman, back to Hatate. There's another throw-in of Ant-Man. Celtic trying to get into the final for a 38th time. As Tierney appears to take the throw-in level with the Rangers 18-yard line. He's found Hatate in the box. Moore's challenge didn't look great. The referee with his arms outstretched is happy enough with it to let it go. And it's back in the gloves of Butland.
Yeah, I think it was just a coming together more than anything else. You know, clash of bodies, nothing really in it.
Moore does well to get away from his man, but we've played the 1 minute of additional time at the end of the first period here, and Nick Walsh is going to blow for the end of the first period, and Callum McGregor has had the big say. An explosive shot from the edge of the box, which went right through Jack Butland from distance. It looked spectacular. It was for Celtic. It restored their lead after James Tavernier's penalty 10 minutes from the end of normal time had wiped out the lead given to Celtic by Johnny Kenny in the first half of normal time. And at the end of the first period of extra time, it is the holder Celtic 2, 10-man Rangers 1.
The Scottish League Cup.
Live on Sports Sound.
Scottish football lives here.
On BBC Radio Scotland.
Still this game on an absolute knife edge as the players take on more hydration and get a few more words of wisdom from the coaching staff. 49,446 the attendance, and it's a James McFadden, it's a Callum McGregor strike, and he hits the ball so sweetly, doesn't there's clearly doubts about Jack Butland, but you cannot argue about how well struck that shot was.
Absolutely, it's such a clean strike. His technique is outstanding, Callum McGregor, whether it's a 5-yard pass or whether it's a shot from 25 yards. It's so clean, the ball is moving, and Jack Butland will be disappointed. He'll feel that he should have kept that out. The movement, he makes a decision, I think, to dive when he doesn't really need to, but I felt as though it would take something like that. We've saw a few efforts in the game where you're asking for a bit of conviction in the shot, a bit of bravery. Callum McGregor certainly had that. As it builds up and comes to him, you're thinking, just step on it and have a go. And if I think Dodgy mentioned it in commentary, if you hit the target, you've got a chance of scoring. Whether the goalkeeper should save it or not, you need to be hitting the target, and that's exactly what he did.
Right, the Rangers players have already peeled off into the half to our right-hand side. It was very interesting there looking down at the Celtic group. It was Sean Maloney who was right in there making sure that he was getting the message across to the Celtic players. And Martin O'Neill just standing in behind him as Maloney addressed those 11 Celtic players. They have 15 minutes to withstand anything Rangers can throw at them, or indeed add to their current advantage. To run us down through the rest of the live action, it is Pat Bonner, Billy Dodds and Liam McLeod.
Well, it's going to be Rangers to get the second period of extra time underway. I would absolutely sign up for penalties right now. Would the team in blue. So Joe Rothwell gets the second period of extra time underway. First whistle, Nick Walsh. The final 15 minutes of actual football. Will there be more on top of that? Will there be penalties? Jack Butland clears. At the moment, Celtic heading to the final. There's a foul by Osmond on Cornelius, and that will mean Cornelius himself and Suter will go forward to join this attack. And Tavernier be on point with this free kick. This is just to the left of the centre circle in the Celtic half. Committed plenty forward for this.
It's a good way forward for Rangers because Celtic have not hardly any height left, only Scales and Trusty, you would say, that can go against the big ones.
Tavernier then over the free kick, right-footed, chips it to the right-hand side of the box. Suter doesn't get there, it's flicked away by Engels. And then Maida completes the clearance. They'll come back at Celtic here though. Tavernier, it's not a great ball, misunderstanding with Moore, and Hatate's onto it. Hatate nicks it through to Osmond, right-hand side up against Tavernier, in the tone for the error. Osmond trying to drive away, Tavernier brings him down, free kick to Celtic. James Tavernier with the foul. No yellow for the Rangers captain, but it is a Celtic free kick as they look to try and score the third goal that would put them into the final. And Callum Osmond unhappy there as he was wiped out by the Rangers captain.
Yeah, he's very tenacious, isn't he? He again, probably what is appealing to Martin is that he's very direct when he gets the ball, and there's not a lot of maybe experience there, but certainly he has got tenacity.
Kenny and Osmond are going to give defences a handful problems, and the two of them have been excellent for their young age today in this type of atmosphere, this fixture.
And the Welshman Callum Osmond scored 43 and 73 is, and it comes in the Fulham youth team as the free kick comes in, but there's a flag in the near side, so it all comes to nothing. And then there's an off the ball incident between Aarons and Hatate, but what to do about nothing really. And there will be a Rangers free kick inside their own box with 2 minutes of the second period of extra time. And Callum McGregor took that free kick. Swinney was hoping the Rangers defence was sleeping a little bit, but Hatate went just too soon. And this stays 2-1 to Celtic. A header from Cornelius, one in the air in the Celtic half, bounces out of play off a Celtic player and out for a Rangers throw-in on this near side. Martin O'Neill down there, he's been leaping around as he used to do all those years ago. He's been footering around with that water bottle for most of the afternoon, picking it up, putting it back down again, just engrossed in the action, barely believing the fact he's back in the heat of the battle of this fixture. Here's Hatate, almost managed to pop it through to Forrest, and but for the block from Cornelius he would have done. Celtic have it. Engels to Forrest, breaks off Aarons. Now it's with McGregor. McGregor with the left foot to Tierney. Tierney now attacking the left-hand side of the box. Fires it across! It's touched home and there's no flag! And Callum Osmond has his first Celtic goal! And it comes in a League Cup semi-final at Hampden, right in front of the Celtic supporters. And with that, he has surely sealed their place in a 38th League Cup final. It is Celtic 3, 10-man Rangers 1.
Yeah, that crucial third goal for Celtic just opens up the gap and takes a hit off to the pressure. But what a driven ball by Tierney across that, and who was the quickest to react inside the box? That young man Osmond getting in there, sliding in to get a vital touch just to hammer it into the back of the net.
Yeah, it's well worked when they feed out that left-hand side. Tierney has got acres of space, and he hits a sweet strike. And Osmond, I tell you what, he covers some ground to get a touch in that. Really needing all his pace there to go on the end of it. That's a brilliant finish, really is.
Brilliant.
That's what you want from your striker, isn't it? That's exactly the kind of place where you were always desperate to be when the ball was coming in from the left or right.
Yeah, I didn't mind those ones.
Balikwisha will come on for Maida for Celtic, but that would appear to be game over here at Hampden. And Celtic heading back to the League Cup final, having won it 8 times in the last 11 seasons before this one. And Callum Osmond, who didn't get a look in under Brendan Rodgers, in his second appearance for Celtic as his first goal. Martin O'Neill and Sean Maloney obviously saw something in him, thought he was ready. And my goodness, Packy, what a moment for the 19-year-old that is.
Absolutely. I think that's probably, I'm not going to take anything away from Martin O'Neill, but I think that's down to Sean Maloney, who is probably working with him for that period of time. Knew that he has got pace, knew that he had a lot. He's just got booked now for sliding in.
Late challenge on Tavernier. But his reaction to that is to try and whip the Celtic supporters into a frenzy, as if they needed to be whipped into a frenzy after that third goal has effectively put them through.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to a man who's no longer with us, Tommy Burns. He kept saying to the young boys, when you're in looking, trying to get into the team, as soon as you get the opportunity, be ready and make an impact. Otherwise, it'll bypass you. This young man has made an impact today coming on the pitch.
Yeah, touched on it too. Celtic strikers have found a couple of heroes. I mean, Kenny was excellent as well, got his goal. Osmond's come on and he's been different class, to be honest. He's a real threat with his pace.
There's a chance. Balikwisha's popped it through to Osmond, who's goal side of Ant-Man driving forward. He's on his own at the moment, others arriving. Ant-Man gets a touch onto it, Osmond turns him, holds him off into the box, slips it towards Forrest, and it's cut out by Aarons. And Rangers clear. Their League Cup hopes are on life support here. 21 minutes into extra time. Celtic 3, Rangers 1.
It's desperate stuff now, go man for man at the back, and that's a chance you take with Osmond. But he's unlucky that it's Ant-Man that's chasing him, because that's a fair race, and Ant-Man does well to stay with him.
James McFadden watching alongside me here. Game over now, and Callum Osmond has his big moment.
Yeah, he does, and as the guys are saying, he's really impressed. You can see exactly why Martin O'Neill and Sean Maloney like him, because he's got that speed, that direct running.
Well, Mikey Moore's got away with one there. He was ransacked in the middle of the pitch, and Celtic would have been in had the whistle not sounded and given Rangers a free kick. And it will be Butland to take. Just 8 minutes plus stoppages left for Danny Rule. And he is staring defeat squarely in the face here. And this one's going to sting them. And Butland launches it forward. Loads of Rangers supporters have left the stadium. Heaps of empty seats off to our left as Tierney launches it forward. There's no one up there for Celtic. It's going to come all the way through to Butland. But it's been they played the extra time well, actually, Celtic, having been up against it, against the odds, against the 10 men in the second half of normal time. They've gone about their business in the second half. It's a lovely touch by Osman there to Hatate in the centre circle, out to Balikwisha. Balikwisha on the left. It's in field from Ant-Man and back to Hatate. I think the Celtic supporters were deeply concerned when Kelechi Iheanacho went out of the Sturm Graz game early and having to kick the ball out because Trusty's down, the Celtic players. They lost Iheanacho. Maida was still out at the time. But Johnny Kenny and Callum Osman are answering their prayers here.
Yeah, absolutely. Two young men, and sometimes that can happen, you know. Listen, I love to see young players coming through a system, and if they're good enough, absolutely take the chance, give them the chance, give them the opportunities. Up to them then to take it, but it takes a little bit of time for, like, Kenny's been in the team now quite a few weeks since the injury to Iheanacho, and now he looks as if he's got a real kind of maybe shot in the arm by getting those couple of games.
We were having the discussion in yesterday's programme again. It was back to not enough young players coming through. Well, there's two, and they look special. I mean, to come into this environment and this bigger fixture and play the way they've played without fear. I mean,
energy.
Yeah, energy and fear, without fear.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just incredible the way they've performed.
We're not talking about players that came through the Celtic Academy, but the club have spotted them at a young age at other clubs. Johnny Kenny came in from Sligo Rovers, and obviously Osman came in from Fulham in the summer there. But to score your first Celtic goal against Rangers, I mean, that's magnificent for him, and that's going to do him the world of good for the weeks and months, and for him years to come.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Trusty here. He was the one that went down with cramp and so on. He's just come back. We talked about it. Can you last 90 minutes? Now he's been asked to go an extra half hour.
There's just over 5 minutes of extra time left. Rangers are playing on. Celtic have put it out for their own players. Gassama into the box and nicked off him by Callum McGregor. The Celtic fans think justice has been done there. Forrest finds Hatate. He launches it long. Cornelius with the challenge. Osman's waved back to his feet by referee Walsh. Butland picks up and plays it short to Cornelius.
The two centre-halves are petrified as soon as Celtic got a nice free pass with no pressure on it.
Aarons, he's kept it in, pulls it across. There was no flag. It's blocked there by
offside.
Ant-Man. The flag does go up eventually.
Yeah, it's that late flag again that just... I know, but it's part... Michael's given out about it, but it's part of the VAR situation, you know, not the assistant's fault, I don't think.
Martin O'Neill looks towards his dugout, technical area here at Hampden. Sean Maloney down there is in conversation with the fourth official, Matty McDermott. His Scales playing it to Trusty.
Just get rid of it.
Rangers are off to, they're at home to face Roma, off to Europa League duty on Thursday. Celtic go to Denmark to face Midtjylland. The Europa League leaders, no less, for Celtic away from home on Thursday. Rangers at home to Roma. He won the Conference League a few years ago. Also got coverage of Aberdeen's trip to Cyprus to face AEK Larnaca. Also at the top end of the Conference League. Here comes Celtic with Forrest. Forrest driving forward. Celtic looking to rub Rangers' noses in it here. The ball is cut out though by Tavernier, and he clears. 3.5 of the extra time left. Celtic 3, Rangers 1. There's Cornelius. His ball forward goes straight to Trusty. Now it's with Ralston. Trusty's bombing forward. He probably shouldn't be doing that if he's got that cramp. But here's Osman at the edge of the box. Osman then to Balikwisha. Osman wants it back. Balikwisha instead dinked it to the right-hand side of the box looking for Forrest, and it goes horribly wrong. And out it goes for a throw into Rangers, as deep in their own half as they can possibly get. Closing stages of the second of the League Cup semi-finals here on Sportsound and BBC Radio Scotland, across the frequencies, online and on digital. That Europa and Conference League action to come on Thursday. Rangers are at Dundee in their next domestic fixture a week today. The Celtic host Kilmarnock as the long ball forward goes out for a Celtic throw-in on the near side. The Martin O'Neill effect. 4 times he faced Rangers here in his first spell, just the one victory. But having replaced Brendan Rodgers on that dramatic day at the start of last week, it's going to be back-to-back victories for him and Sean Maloney at the start of their interim spell. Ralston bowls it forward, comes off the head of Tavernier, breaks in field to Hatate, finds Balikwisha, turns it to Tierney, takes a touch left-hand side, shoots, deflected, wide. In fact, didn't even go wide because Cornelius prevented the corner. As it goes out for a throw-in instead to Celtic on this near side. 2 minutes left, 3-1 Celtic.
Yeah, they're really opening up the space that Rangers are leaving. They're trying to leave men up the park, especially when we've got 10 men. There's big gaps, and Balikwisha picks out Tierney again, free on that left. That's a strike deflected, and Cornelius gets it for a throw-in. Celtic with that second goal cushion now can just see out with a bit of comfort and enjoy the last few minutes.
Let's come behind for a goal kick to Rangers, but at the end of the day, they did well to come back into this when they were down to 10 men for so long in the match, but trying to do that, to replicate that in extra time when you lose the goal early in extra time, it's always going to be a huge challenge for Rangers at that point.
Yeah, and listen, you know, the sending off had a huge role to play, I think, in this game, although you know, Rangers did rally in the second half when they were down to 10 men.
Missed huge chances in the game, haven't they?
Huge. That's the bit I was going to say that. They had the opportunities, though, to almost even win this game with the chances they had. I know Celtic had chances too, but I think they had the better chances, Rangers.
Yeah, absolutely. If you talk about stages of the game, Celtic, you know, they've controlled it because they've got the man advantage, but Rangers have unbelievable chances. Then Celtic get the goal that puts them in front, and Rangers have 2 unbelievable chances to equalise and miss them both. But Celtic have got that killer third that's really just flattened Rangers now.
Austin Trusty's been named man of the match. Yeah, that opportunity for JD Gassama after Callum McGregor had made it 2-1. That will be replaying in his thoughts tonight. And indeed in the thoughts of the Rangers supporters, who thousands and thousands of them have gone home not wanting to see the green and white end party, as they've done so often here at Hampden in recent years. We played the full 30 minutes. There's going to be a little bit added on, 2 minutes added, so 2 minutes left for Celtic to enjoy. They're heading back to the final next month, in 6 weeks' time, as Ralston picks up on the near side up the line for Forrest. Then in field to Engels, forward to Ralston, looks up, the long big switch of play looking for Balikwisha. Tavernier's underneath it, he heads it away. And then with Scales out to Tierney. You would expect both Tierney and Ralston to be in Steve Clarke's squad, which will be getting named this week for the mammoth doubleheader. What a huge couple of games for the national team coming up over the course of the next couple of weeks. Denmark here a fortnight on Tuesday, but that game in Greece, the Denmark game, only means something if they get something away to the Greeks, as Celtic come forward with Hatate, left-hand side. He's found Balikwisha, 2 in the middle. Balikwisha at the byline wins the corner as it ripples the side net. Celtic looking for another one before the match is done. Of course, it was 4-1 yesterday. St Mirren put Motherwell to the sword. Celtic doing likewise in the end to their bitter rivals here, Billy Dodds.
Yeah, in the end, the game was everything, I've got to say. You must add that. I mean, Rangers have played their part. Celtic had chances as well, controlled the game at stages, especially when they go the extra man up, and they've got the goals that have just killed the game off.
It is Arne Engels over the corner, over on the far side alongside Hatate. So he takes it short to Hatate. They're just toying with Rangers now as Antman tries to win it back. He does, he wins the free kick, does the Rangers man. And Butland's over it, but There is no time to do anything from a Rangers point of view, and once Jack Butland releases this, it's going to be just about over. Nick Walsh, whistle to lips, and Celtic go through to the final again. They were in a bigger battle than they thought they would be when Johnny Kenny put them 1-0 up in the first half and Taylo Asgard was sent off. Rangers put it up to them despite being shorn of one of their players. The 10 men made a fight of it in the second half, and James Tavernier's penalty conversion on 80 minutes after the Ralston handball gave Rangers a chance. It certainly took it to extra time, but Celtic made their man advantage count in the extra 30 minutes. Captain McGregor with an outstanding strike from outside the box rifled it past Jack Butland to restore the Celtic lead, and the holders made absolutely sure of their place in a 38th League Cup final. Callum Osman turning home Kieran Tierney's low ball. Rangers will look back at a host of missed opportunities. Chermiti, Raskan, Gassama, the guilty parties. Perhaps none more so guilty than Taylo Asgard, sent off in that first half. And Celtic made their pressure tell, made their class tell in the end as well. Callum Osman waving up to the main stand. What an afternoon for that young man. And over 25 years later, the barely believable statement of Martin O'Neill has led Celtic into the League Cup final can be uttered. And what's come less than a week after the Celtic legend was placed back in interim charge, he and Sean Maloney have guided them past Rangers, and the 25-26 Scottish League Cup final will be St Mirren against Celtic on the 14th of December, 6 weeks from now, because it finished here in the second of the semi-finals. Celtic 3, 10-man Rangers 1.
This